Hey, everybody, and welcome to the whole discussion, episode number 7. As you can see, I have no one to the side of me right now. Josh Delp is running a little bit late. Daddy Delp Disc Golf is. He said he will be here soon. So just starting the podcast as is. This is, if you've not been here before, please consider subscribing. This is on Baysingers Disc Golf Channel here. This is the whole discussion. Basically, myself and Daddy Delp Disc Golf get on here together and do basically a live course review showing hole by hole of a different course that him and I have both played. So just wanted to check real quick in the comments and make sure the audio is working okay and everything. I already see Matt Oswald. What's up, Matt? Tonight, the course that we will be discussing will be a Leeman Field disc golf course in Pennington Gap, Virginia. So this is the first course we have discussed in Virginia. As I said, Josh will be joining in as soon as he said he's going to be a little bit late, but I will add him to the stream as soon as he joins in. This is a course that Josh actually designed himself. So I told him if he's going to be late, every one of the holes on his course is getting a thumbs down for every one that he's late, but obviously joking. Shout out to the 4 people already tuned in. Please comment. I'm going to go ahead and just talk real quick for a second about some of the videos that I had go up this week, just to try and kill some time before Josh gets here. So this week I had, as you can see here, on the What Would You Throw series, this was hole number 9 short of Sullivan East High School disc golf course in Bluff City, Tennessee. I said Bristol in all of those, but it's actually in Bluff City. So that hole 9 going up, Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the full round on the shorts featuring myself, Daddy Delp Disc Golf, Josh, and the course designer Jacob Cutshaw will be going up on Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So in addition to that, I'll just go ahead and show you, I've got a thumbnail here for the course that we will be discussing tonight. For those of you just tuning in, I see 7 people here. Josh will be joining us as soon as he gets home, and I'll add him to the stream. I will probably go ahead and start and let him, hopefully he doesn't miss an entire hole, but if so, we'll just kind of let him maybe rehash after. But I'm going to put a link to this video in the comments here. As you can see, this is the back 9, which we'll be discussing. We already discussed the front 9 at Leeman Field. I've got a link that I just put in the comments here. If you want to open that, if you're on a computer, you can open that link and in another tab, and you can watch as we discuss this course. Watch us play the course as we discuss it. So Gerald B. Charles in the comments. What's up, man? Let me know here in the comments if you guys want me to kind of kill some time until Josh gets here, or if you want to go ahead and get started with the discussion. So it's up to you all. I don't really have a lot to talk about as far as, well, actually, I'll do a little update on what's been going down with BDGC recently. So please share while we're waiting on Josh here to tune in. Please share, like, comment on the live comments here, and then please consider commenting after as well, after in post, because that definitely helps us get retention from YouTube. So I'm going to go ahead and show you some thumbnails of some videos that will be going up this week. So Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be this video right here. So this, as you can see, I don't know if you can see in the top corner there, it says part 1 of 3. So the BDGC crew, not all of us, but excuse me, myself, Jason, and Griff did a fun round where we went to Mossy Creek mini golf course in Jefferson City, Tennessee. We played that last year, but we actually went back this year and we did a video. We filmed a 3-part video. So the front 9 is at Mossy Creek mini golf course, and it's 3 versus 4. Jerry wasn't able to make it day of, so it was me, Jason, and Griff versus 4 guys at the Mossy Creek crew, the owner, and then my buddy Jared Odell, which you guys know, he's been on the channel a couple times. But we basically did 9 holes of mini golf. That's the front 9. Let me throw that picture up again here and show you. This is going to be the front 9 going up on Wednesday. 9 holes of mini golf. And then the back 9 is 9 holes of mini disc golf with the little minis and the mini basket there you can see on the mini golf course in Jefferson City there, Mossy Creek mini golf course. And then the back 9, which I've dubbed it because we did a 3-part in this series, is 9 holes of disc golf at Dandridge Elementary School, and that one's going to go up. So this video here is going to go up Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Part 2 will go up Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then the back 9 will go up the following Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you are subscribed, comment on some videos so we pop up in your algorithm there. YouTube algorithm's been kind of crazy recently. We've dropped off a little bit in views, so please, I would really appreciate if you were to comment, subscribe, comment on every video and like every video that you see from us. Go back and comment on some old stuff if you want to. So just a shout out real quick here to Matt Oswald. Says he ordered a Cosmic Talkapoo. Excuse me, get a drink of water here. And a Cosmic Pekka Pekka. That's awesome, Matt. If you've not thrown them yet, and if I had any, if I influenced you in any way to try out some RPM disc, myself or Delp, please consider maybe sending a short of yourself, like your phone up and down this way, and do like a under 60 second or 60 second or less video clip of you throwing them first throw reactions, if you wish. If you don't want to, that's fine. But I always like to offer that to people who try out RPM based on my recommendations. So who else we got here in the comments? I see 7 people here. Please comment and chat with us here. If you have not, if you tuned in a little later, you see that Delp is not quite here yet. So we will trying to hold off and stall. Just please let me know in the comments if you want me to go ahead and start with the whole discussion. It'll be kind of weird without him, but we can do it. Or if you want to just stall and talk some more about what's been going on. Let's see. Gerald Charles says, I threw the Pekka Pekka and Tui all weekend during Tim and Donna. Nice, Gerald. Gerald here in the comments is a RPM teammate of mine. Actually, he's on the higher team than I am. I'm on the tribe. I'm on ambassador team as well, but I'm on tribe and an ambassador team, and then he's on the parliament team. So how'd you do during the tournament there, Mr. Gerald B. Charles? I am going to go ahead and throw up this little banner here and show at the bottom. This podcast is brought to you by our Patreon supporters, Frank Reynolds, Thorsten Scheel, Jonathan Pickle, Josh Delp, my man, and Micah Milam. So honestly, guys, this podcast would not be possible without the help of the Patreon supporters. So and then also, if anybody wants to any team BDG members or Patreon supporters want to tune in and talk with us, as long as you got headphones, you can go live with us, especially right now since Delp is not here. He said he's going to be about 7:30 when he got here, but yeah, just let me know if any of you Team BDGC or Patreon supporters are here, and if you want to possibly come chat until Delp gets in, or chat the course with us if you played it. Gerald B. Charles said, not a bad round. Round 1 went pretty good. Oh, wait, let's see what I say. Round 1, pretty good. Round 2. Oh, not bad round 1 and pretty good round 2. For some reason, my brain did not want to read that right, but finished 6th. I cannot talk. I'm falling apart without Delp here, so. Amanda. Oh, yeah, shout out. I'll go ahead and say that while I usually try and say this. Sometimes I forget to say that, but Amanda, my lovely fiance, is always helping here on the back end, throwing up comments for me and all that good stuff and helping out. So, You got anything else to talk about? And once again, I guess I can show the thumbnail for the course that we're talking about. This is, oh, let me take off this comment here. This is the round where Josh Delp and I, along with Griff from the channel, played Leeman Field, which is what we're discussing tonight. So, fun little course that Josh Delp designed. It's in Pennington Gap, Virginia. It's honestly, since he's not here, I can talk about it without making his head in, giving him a big head. I can't talk. Sorry about that. But this course is so much fun, honestly. I've played it twice. I played it before the tee pads were in, and then I actually played it once again that I didn't film. I do want to go back and film, but Josh said some course changes are possibly going to happen in the future, so I don't really want to go. I like to show the course off in their current layout, so I don't really want to show that off until we get, or until he gets those changes made if they happen. All right, I guess we'll just roll with some of the comments here live until Delp gets here. Talk to some people. Kevin Egan says, I bought the Supreme Fugitive and ordered an Atomic Pekka Pekka because of how great you and Delp talk about it. That's awesome, Kevin. If you didn't hear what I was saying to Matt earlier, if you by any chance want to be featured again, I know you're already on the channel on the Discovering RPM series, but consider like filming like a less than 60, your phone up and down like this, like the YouTube shorts and reels. You know how the video stuff's going these days, but if you want to film yourself throwing it for the first time, like a 60-second or shorter clip with your first throw and reaction, then please do that and send it to me, and I'd love to post it on the channel as you went by our recommendation. So, see, Matt Oswald, I'm going to go to Waco this weekend to spectate. That's amazing. That's so cool. Waco is, I had a couple friends here that are local in this area that went and actually played Waco, and I've heard that these two guys that I know, shout them out, Seth Overbay and Nick Jeffers, they went and played Idlewild, and Seth has a really big arm, and Nick does too. And I remember Seth had told me that they stood up to hole 18 over the water, which I don't think is actually 18 in the course design, but he said they went to that hole and looked at it and said, no, thank you. So that shows what mere mortals like myself would do there. What do you think, Amanda? Should I just keep chatting with people in the comments till he gets here, or should I start with a discussion? Yeah, I'm just kind of thinking I like to break it up into clips per hole, and might not be able to do that. I guess he could just kind of not have his. Amanda says go ahead and get started. Let me know what you all think. Should I go ahead and get started with the whole discussion? Simon threw a P2 over the water. Yeah, I got a migraine when I saw that, and it's still here. Got serious there for a second. What do you guys think? We got quite a few people. Gerald Egan, Kevin Egan, and Mungo. Oh, I see Mungo. Waco is a long way away, right? Mungo, correct me if I'm wrong. You're New Zealand, right? It's so cool that we have people in other countries tuning in here. I know the RPM love probably helps that, but let us know if you want to go ahead and start with the whole discussion. He should be here any minute, possibly, but not 100% sure. So maybe I should have waited a little bit, but I don't like to keep people waiting. I like to go live when I say I'm going to go live. So if you don't know, sure, go ahead, Matt says. All right, so I'll say one more thing before. But if you don't know, since we're finishing up this course tonight, I have this lovely box here that has all the courses that Delp and I have both played that we will be drawing at the end of the night, drawing another course for the next whole discussion, which would be, if it's a 9-hole course, then it would be episode 8. And if it's an 18-hole course, it would be episodes 8 and 9. So, all right. So Delp's not here. Hopefully he will tune in pretty soon. But I guess I will go ahead and get started. Thanks, everybody, once again. Please keep the comments coming in. I can talk to you a little bit more tonight until he gets here. And, of course, still will once he gets here. But I will go ahead and get started talking about hole number 10 at Leeman Field Disc Golf Course. Disc Golf Course Review has this hole at 253 feet. It's a par 3. This is the hole that's right before you turn back around to start coming back down the other side. So as Josh and I were talking on a few of the holes in the front 9, a lot of them are kind of lefty friendly holes on this the end of the first 9. And this would be the last one in that stretch. After this one, you turn around and go back the opposite way, and the holes turn into more righty friendly holes. So the course gets harder for me from here on out, being a left-hander. The basket is, as you can see, between those trees, the little blue circle there. Let me know what you think about that also. But that's where the basket's located there. You can see Delp teeing off here. Basically, for me on this one at 253 feet, I'm probably going like a Kahoo, possibly a Kahoo XG, depends on what the wind's doing, and probably just hyzering around the outside of those trees on the left side, something that I won't turn over too much because you see the OB path to your left. I want something to go out there and hyzer out either right before those trees or right after those trees. I kind of wish Josh was here so he could tell me. I feel like it's kind of between those trees on the left side there. So a couple trees there. This hole to me is just a great little lefty hole, but it's not one that you can honestly it's not one that you can just completely open up on, because there's a gap that you still have to hit on this one. It is a fun hole for sure, but it's sorry, I've knocked my water down. Didn't spill it this time. It's a water bottle, but sorry. Got some stuff going on here. Apologize for that, everybody. This hole, I'm going with the like I say, the Kahoo more than likely. And trying to get it to basically just fade out, I think, in between those trees up there. This is a fun hole. It's a little different than the last few holes that we had discussed on the front 9, because there is a kind of a gap that you want to go through on out there. Now, I remember hole 9 rather was a little bit more of a gap hitting hole, but definitely this is definitely a hole that you definitely want to get this one. A lot of these, almost the theme of this entire course is almost one of those birdie or die courses. And this hole is not one of the exceptions to that. It is one of the more tricky holes because it doesn't have, as far as the open stretch, because there are a few trees and gaps you want to hit, but definitely not something that it's not going to be the trickiest hole on the course, that's for sure, but definitely a fun hole. As I said, 253. If anybody wants to leave some comments, I'll throw the picture up again just for a second. If anybody wants to leave any comments and see what they would throw on this one. It looks like Delp. I guess I'll try and discuss this as what a righty would throw. It looks to me, since Delp's throwing backhand, right hand, it looks like there's he's doing like a hyzer flip situation here, because he's definitely got hyzer on that. I would guess at his power, he's probably throwing something like he's probably got a PA3, PA4, something like that. Maybe an M4, something under stable mid-range or putter at this distance would be good for him. But getting it to flip up and turn, and I can see the play he's going to do here. Now, it looks like a righty could just do stock hyzer around everything, but I will say about this hole in particular, I was trying to stall a little bit until he got here so he could at least give a little bit of thoughts on this one, but it looks like he's not going to make it. So I think one of the things that I would change on this hole, if given the opportunity, which honestly I don't really know that anything needs to be changed, but I think that I would make that tree on the right a Mando to the left. And it may be that way, and that might be why he's doing, as you can see, he's doing the hyzer flip shot there. So I think that is probably the case. I can't really see on that tree if there's a Mando, but maybe he just tells people that. But I would love to see that tree on the right, the one that is just to the left of Josh, be a mandatory that you can't go to the right of that. It'd make a little bit trickier for the righties and force them to do like a flip up turnover kind of shot instead of just doing a wide hyzer around everything. And that may be the case because I know 11 kind of comes back this opposite way, so that may keep people from going into the other fairway there. Let's see. It looks like Matt Oswald said he'd throw a DGA trimmer. Mungo said he's going with right-hand hyzer with an essence. I feel that. I see. He says he has a weak backhand. That's how I am with a sidearm. So if you throw left-handed, then we have the same hole in our game there because my sidearm is just not very good. So I can see the essence on that one. Kind of wondering why Pekka wouldn't be the option because I know you throw a lot of RPM stuff, and I feel like those are similar discs. I think maybe the essence maybe is a little bit glidier with a little less fade than what the Pekka would be. But I throw on the Pekka a whole lot more than I have the essence, so I'm not really sure on that. All right, so doesn't look like Josh is going to make it here for hole 10. I feel like that's the one that this hole is, like I said, it's one of those must-get kind of holes, as a lot of these courses are, or a lot of these holes are in this course. As I said earlier, this is no exception to it. So I told Josh I was going to give a thumbs down to every hole that he didn't make it to, but I can't do that. This is a good hole. Don't tell him that I actually gave him a thumbs up on a hole he didn't make it to. It's just a good hole. He didn't, the land, I wish you could kind of see I wish I had an overlay of the land to show everyone what he was working with. Just an overall excellent design for the land he had to work with, because it kind of just goes out like this and then kind of caps off, and then he had to loop around one way and then back. And it's amazing that he was able to get 18 holes in there. Honestly, I'm just going to say it. If I was the one in charge of designing a course on this piece of property, I would probably concede and not do the 18 holes and just do a 9-hole, just because I would never have been able to do what he did here. So check out a couple more comments here before I leave over. Struggle to control the Pekka. Okay. I kind of understand that because they are a little bit angle dependent at times. Kevin Egan says he would throw the maiden. Nice. It's a good choice for this one for sure as well. So, all right. I don't really have anything else about this hole, so I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the next hole. We'll throw up the picture here and start discussing hole number 11. You can see myself here on the tee. Disc Golf Course Review has this one at 315 feet. Honestly, I feel like it's a little bit shorter than that one. As you can see, we filmed this round before the concrete tees were in, so we were doing the grass situation with the stake there. But you can see the basket there in the little blue circle. As I said, 315 feet. I would almost feel like this one plays a little bit closer to 300 on the dot. I'm not exactly sure on that, but I feel like this is one that I'm twoing. It's for me, honestly, this is I'm probably going something like a mint Pekka on this hole nowadays. Something that I could probably throw a little bit flat and get some turn. As you can see, I do want some turn over towards the left side of the woods to try and get that distance, but I don't want it to turn too much. And that's why I would go with the mint Pekka because I do not want to end up in that left side over there with that kudzu and all that brush over there. This one, once again, another one of those holes. You can see I think the tree to the right over there is what we saw on hole 10, and then we're coming back the opposite way on the course. So as I said, this whole right side that you see over here, I don't know if you can really see that path, but that is where we were playing on the right side, coming back this way, and now we've turned around and playing back the opposite way and walking back towards the beginning of the course and the parking lot and all that good stuff. So, yeah, this one, as I said, 315 feet. I feel like it's a little bit shorter than that, or maybe it just plays a little bit shorter than that, and it also could potentially be something about how when the tee pad was put in, maybe it wasn't put in that exact spot, but I feel like it plays a little shorter than 315 feet, but maybe not. It's definitely over 3, in my opinion, but this is a fun hole. I could see me also going with a Kahoo XG, maybe put a little bit of turn on it and try and get it to turn and just ride that woods line over there to the left and not get too much fade, because those XGs, while they do fade out, they can definitely get a good amount of turn as long as you get on them. So I'm kind of in that situation right now with my arm for the Kahoos and Kahoo XGs. Like, it's too fast for my arm speed. So I usually will Anheuser the regular Kahoos and throw the XGs flat to get some turn. And then the problem is occasionally I will actually get on it really good, and then with those angles, it'll turn too much. I had that happen a couple times this weekend. I got to play around. So that's kind of where I am at with those. I feel like I would probably throw my old beat up Kahoo XG, one of the older runs, on probably just maybe a tiny bit of hyzer or flat and get some turn, ride that woods line, and then fade off to the left side there. Let's see. Mungo says Pekka or Essence backhand or Kahoo front hand, low and flat, flip up the middle. Yeah, so that's kind of a similar shot to what I'm talking about on this one, Mungo. Or he says old mold Kiwi or an Escape. Now, I do have, don't tell anybody this, Mungo, but I think I have, 9 of those old Kiwis, the old run Kiwis. I've got quite the amount of them because when I started throwing RPM, they don't have a whole lot of flippy stuff that's good for my arm speed. I have a lower arm speed for sure. I play intermediate, and I definitely don't get a lot of flip on those higher speed discs. So it looks like Walt Disney is here apparently. I was pretty sure he was dead, but maybe not, because he is tuned in and said that the trimmer is a good disc. So sorry, I saw that and just wanted to throw that. It's pretty funny. Kevin says he thinks Maul on this one. I could see that working as well. I'm guessing you'd be doing the backhand on the Maul. Just the only problem with that is I feel like the righty. This is one of the things that I'll say, and I'll throw the picture up on this one once again. But I feel like the righty, if you throw something too understable, you could potentially go over and end over in the other hole's fairway, and then which could be kind of a tricky situation for, tournament play or doubles or anything like that, singles, something like that. But I don't think, honestly, it would be that big of a problem as long as it doesn't get turned over too much. So I think I don't have a lot more left to say about this hole. It's a good hole. Oh, there's Mr. Delp has tuned in. Give me a thumbs up when you're ready to come in the stream here. Oh, he said thumbs up. He said immediately get me in. So
Oh, hello.
What's up, guy?
Nothing. I can't believe Baysinger gave me a bad link, and I've been trying to get it to work for like an hour. No, I'm
What a
just.
liar.
It's
Oh,
a fun now.
I've already discussed hole 10 and moved on from that. So you missed out on that and got a thumbs down because you're late.
Wow, you took you that long to do hole 10?
No, I tried to stall, honestly,
Oh,
a little
okay.
bit, and I discussed more than the holes. But yeah, I wanted to try and stall and get you in here, but I've got to go to bed at some point tonight. So
Yeah, I was sitting here scrambling. I had my phone set up because the laptop's not in here ready,
yeah,
and then I got the phone set up and it wouldn't let my mic hook up, so I had to run through and find my iPad real quick and hook it up. So I was like,
you're all good, man. No problem. No problem.
You'll have to also let me know if like I get that weird feedback thing I used to get, because that is what was happening when I used the iPad.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but we'll see.
All right, man. You know what? I missed my calling. I should have, as soon as I got you in, I should have said, all right. And that is it for the whole discussion. We are done. So I spoke all, I did all, I was just about to switch to hole 12. Do you want to discuss 11 before I switch over, throw the picture up and discuss it? Or do you want to just go on to 12?
It's whichever way. I mean, I think 11's pretty straightforward. So, I mean, it's not really one you have to put too much emphasis on, I don't think. It was kind of a filler hole anyways. So,
okay. I will ask one thing, because I said Disc Golf Course Review has it at 315. I feel like it's shorter than that. I feel like it plays around 300, right?
Hole 11?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I think it's probably closer to like, I don't even know that it's exactly 300 feet. I think it might actually be closer to like 280s or something like that. Because, I mean, it's not, I'll throw a putter on that hole, and I don't have to kill it to get it there. So it's one that I feel like's in that range that's getting close to 300, but it's not. I don't think it plays exactly 300.
Okay. I thought it was a little bit shorter. I thought it was around 300, because I think I'm going like pekka on this one, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe a Kahoo, but
yeah,
I'm not 100% sure. But
hey,
all right, well, that was fun.
You saw my message. I said Cutshaw like destroyed everybody, right?
Yeah, I saw that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I haven't looked at the scores yet. I was kind of, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, we were kind of struggling to get everything ready for the discussion as well. So we barely made it in time.
Yeah, I saw a lot of birds.
Oh my gosh, did we? Yeah, dude saw a swan today. No lie. In Morristown.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Like, we couldn't believe it.
Was there a black swan?
It was not. Those are in Australia.
Well, in that part of Australia,
the Morristown.
Yeah,
sure, Morristown, Australia. Mr. Jacob Standards in the comments. What's up, buddy?
Oh yeah, I'm not prepared for that stuff either. I can't see the comments at all.
Oh, okay.
I'm still in the studio on my phone. They come in with two guests.
I wonder what they would do. I guess it would come up as two guests. I don't know.
It'd be me doubled with a bad sound from the iPhone.
It'd be repeating everything.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and start discussing whole. Oh, I didn't do my thumbs up, and you can do that as well. But I'll say this one's about right here for me. It's like a halfy way.
Happy way
right now.
A happy way. Oh yeah. Wait.
Let's see. Dang, you got big thumbs, bro.
Where are you going? I can't go to that side of the screen.
Oh, is it flip? Oh, here we go. There we go.
He said you got big thumbs.
And you're welcome for the weirdness.
I got big hands whenever it comes to what's it called? Our camera closeness.
Oh yeah.
Camera magic.
Well, my camera's way back there, so.
Oh yeah, mine's like right here.
Well, we lost our small lens, and so I have to use my medium lens.
You should use your straight up birding lens so we can see all your pores.
I'd have to put the tripod in Kentucky. Actually, I just have to set it up at Leeman Field and have it in there. So let's not.
That's funny. That's funny.
All right, so. All right, we'll go ahead and discuss hole number 12 here. As you see, a very serious Jason Griffith on the tee. This Disc Golf Course Review has hole 12 at 308 feet, which I am going to go ahead and say I feel like is a little shorter as well, right, Josh?
Yeah, it's in that range. It plays a little bit farther than what hole 11 does, so it's going to be a little bit closer. I think the thing about this hole is you don't have all the airspace you do on the last hole to get something there. Like it has to be a direct line, kind of. You can play like a hyzer or something around those bushy trees on the right and try, but you have to throw something with at least 300 feet of power to actually make that line work.
Okay. All right.
Out there. But the lefty, it kind of blocks you all off with the tree on the left.
Yeah.
And then it blocks just like a simple hyzer off for the righties.
Just gonna say you got that crackling voice situation right now. But
Yay.
This one I'm gonna say I'm honestly playing this one as a lefty, probably almost the same exact way as I did hole 11, and the fact that I want to do like hyzer flip with something fairly understable, but like mint pekka that will flip up but will still fade out, because as you can see, you don't want to land on the left side there, or maybe like even like a Kahoo XG that I would like probably have to turn a little bit, just do like a little slide and hyzer around that. And I will say, Josh, I know the way you kind of said that, you're like it kind of blocks off the lefty, and I love that because that puts like these holes are fairly similar in the back too, but that definitely changes that. I think honestly for the righty and the lefty, because if you're doing like a hyzer flip for the righty, that tree's going to come into your mind. You're at least going to think about it. So
yeah,
there's other holes where I think about that, where there's a hole like, for me personally, if the tree's on the right side, then I honestly think about it more than what you would think, even though it's probably 98% of the time there's no way I would ever hit that tree, but it just that little mental note there, you know what I mean? And maybe that's what Griff is thinking about here. Griff looks like he's in deep thought right now.
Yeah. One of the reasons I wanted to use that is because of what is now hole, I think, 27 album cover.
That's what I was laughing at.
One of the reasons I tried to pull that tree into use was because of the hole at Warriors that is now 27, the one that they put, it goes through the boulders.
Yes.
Up there's a tree on the left side of the tee that messes with a lot of people, even me. Sometimes it causes you to grip lock, even though you shouldn't be worried. Like if you release at that tree, that's a bad shot. Like it's going way left, but it's just there to where it's like, just like it's sneaking into like your environment at the front of the tee.
Yeah.
And like a righty, like you said, like whenever you're trying to throw that hyzer flip to straight, you're trying to throw right at the basket, and it feels like you're throwing right at that tree.
Right.
And that was one of the things I wanted to do that for. And it's served its purpose because it's caused a few grip locks I've seen. And I usually I go kind of back and forth. I could do like a soft thrown mid, but I like hammering like a putter on hyzer and getting it to get that like flip up to straight. So I've thrown envies before. I think I can get a Takapoo there to get that flat, but I know an envy has a little bit more push, so I've used those before in the past before I was throwing the RPM. But either one of those, I think I can get there. But my ideal shot is just like a hyzer that just pushes kind of just in front of those trees on the right and dives back out. Because I throw putter because I don't want fade. If I mess up a little bit, I don't want a lot of fade because that stuff on the left is kind of nasty.
Right.
So I try to play with the most direct shot I can. And then some days if I'm not feeling it, and I'm not hitting that line good, then I'll just take something really overstable and throw the wide hyzer and just try to make a long putt. So,
and for me also as a lefty, I'll say that like I'll try and throw the picture up again as I'm talking about it here. But like that tree, I know good and well that I could actually do like throw to the left of it. You know what I mean? But it would be probably like a hyzer shot, and that I feel like trying to go that left side would force me to come up short just because I'd be afraid to put too much onto it and turn over and hit those limbs over there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I'd have to go back and play to remember exactly how close the tee ended up being to that tree. I can't remember if it's pushed up closer than what that stake is or not. So it does make that a little bit harder too. If it's closer to that tree, it makes that hyzer even harder as an option. Like if you were a lefty with like a big arm or something like that to throw a huge hyzer around. So I can't remember if that was one, if it got pushed closer to the tree or not. I didn't want to put it too close and have roots start messing with the tee too.
All right. Yeah.
But yeah, I can see that being a play, like if you just wanted to play safe on it or something. But I do think like a lefty on this one, if you like playing that flex shot a lot, it's a good hole for that. If you got the disc that you can trust, it's going to just flex once you go right around that tree and just let it dump back out. Because once you get past that tree, as long as you don't like way overturn something, you're past a lot of the danger. So I can see somebody that trusts a forehand too, like a really overstable forehand, doing the same thing, kind of like a lefty flight would be.
Right. It depends on the wind. Like, because I'd probably be headwind, I'm going Kahoo. Tailwind, I'm going Kahoo XG. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Or possibly Pekka Pekka. It kind of depends on how I've been throwing that round. But, you got you a little shout out here in the comments. Do you see this?
I do. No, I don't.
Yeah, right here. I threw it up on the screen for you. So.
Oh yeah, thanks. It's fun. I had fun. Let's say that.
I've not seen the results yet. Where'd you finish?
I was 6th place, 1 stroke out of 5th place.
Nice.
If I would have birdied the very last hole at Harmon, which we finished on hole 1 because we started hole 2, I was on chase card.
Yeah.
If I would have birdied the last hole, which I had a 30-foot putt and dinked it on the front of the cage, I would have tied Jake McIntosh for 5th. But I almost eagled hole 27.
Yeah, you texted me that. That's crazy.
And then I almost eagled hole 12. I had like 3 eagle looks today, which is good. It's just I had like 2 or 3 holes that I took 5s. It's just I lost control out of them. Like hole 13, right after I almost eagled hole 12. 13 at Harmon. I hit a tree on the right. It's the U-turn hole. Basically, it's like 27, but with no Mando.
No.
So 12 is the one you play where you tee off next to the cornfield and it goes into the
woods. Okay, yeah.
So then 13 you play, it's a really tight gap and the basket's basically up to your left.
Yes.
But you can't throw to it. So that one, it's like you throw and then you play back up around the hill. I hit a tree early on the right, like 50 feet off the tee, and it kicked me towards 12's basket. So then I had to try a forehand roller, hit another tree, and then a forehand, and then another forehand, took a 5. So that's one of those holes you want to just pure the drive and take a 3 and move on. If you can pure the line with the righty backhand and it's hyzering, something overstable, you can generally, the tee shot's most of the work on that hole.
Right.
And just getting in position. Yeah, just get over, and that's exactly. I was thinking that right on the tee. I was like, just hit the gap and let it push and take a birdie, and then I went, oh, well, that wasn't what I did.
Well, honestly, getting a 5 after hitting something 50 feet off the tee, that's really good in my opinion. You know what I mean? Because that hole, there's a lot of trees on that hole.
Yeah, it's very sporadic in a lot of the spots of that hole. But Harmon's evolving at the moment. So, I mean, it's from what Tim told me, they're planning on for a gold layout, combining hole 12 and 13 and changing a basket position for 13 at some point. Just really? for a gold layout. It wouldn't be a permanent. So
good,
that's something
we need to
go play.
Yeah,
we need to go play. I want to go
play the back 18 there, or not back 9.
The back 9. The back 9. The back 9.
Not public yet.
You're not public yet. No, I love Harmon, so I want to go. I've only got one thing I've ever filmed there, and it was just the tee shots when they first poured the new concrete on the front 18 because it was pouring rain.
Oh, wow.
And it was very early in my YouTube career. So I think I had a GoPro, and I literally only filmed us teeing off.
Dang.
And that was it. So I want to go back and I want to film the gold layout because I think it'd be a cool one to get on video because it's evidently really hard.
Right.
So we can go and do that.
I'm down. I'm definitely down.
But yeah, it was a good weekend. I cashed. So
sweet, man. That's awesome. How much did you take? If you don't
I don't know yet. I'm in the cut. So I just knew I was in the cash line.
Yeah.
And they have projected payouts. So I don't know if they're going to follow projected payout or if it'll be more or less, but it's somewhere in that $80 to $100 maybe. Something like that is projected. So,
Crackle voice over here again. I'll take 30% of that for you being late for the podcast tonight. So 30% is a high cut, actually, isn't it? We'll go 25. How's that?
Yeah, you pay me 25% of what I made. We're good with that. so if I get 100, I get 125.
Let's not.
Well, you already agreed, so I accepted.
All right, so we'll try to get back. But congratulations. I'm not trying to get away from that, but yeah.
Oh, you good? Thank you.
Man. Yeah. Like I was saying about hole 12 here, and I said this before you were in here, but like this is one of those holes where I feel like I said that I probably, given the land, if it was up to me, the course design, I probably would not have been able to do a full 18. Like I probably would have conceded and made a 9-hole, and you were really good at being able to throw these holes in and still make difficulty, but also have, a full 18. So I think this is one of those, honestly, this is a really fun hole in my opinion. We can go ahead and do the thumbs, but like saying it's similar to hole 11, but with that tree, it really does change it more than you would think, especially when you're on that tee and off. So I'm giving this one a thumbs up. To me, it's more fun than hole 11. Not that hole 11's a bad hole, but it just seems like hole 11, but with teeth, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a very, if you took the trees off of hole 12, it would be almost the exact same looking hole with kudzu on the left in an open field. So it was one of those ones that I was like, I really wanted to use that spot because it was a little pocket of trees. And I didn't know which way I was going to do it. And it just ended up to when I was trying to do, like I was trying to describe how I was designing this was in stair steps because how you were talking about how it's so kind of condensed and narrow to actually get to the design to get you back to where you started was really hard without you playing on top of each other. So that was the hardest part for me. So I was just happy I was able to get it to fit. But there's a couple holes you sacrifice potential fun for that, but this is one of the ones. It's one of the cooler little holes on the course where it's got that little pocket and stuff. It's a cool little green. I know a lot of people like that one a lot because it is technically a different shot than what you have to throw on about any of the other holes at the course, really. And there is still that option that if you want to flirt with like throwing that powered over like flex forehand at it or something, you mess up and overturn it into the left. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of people don't throw it because they don't want to lose a disc over there. So they fluff it usually if they do throw a forehand or something, fluff it and it goes too far right. So, I mean, it is one of the cooler holes. It's not my favorite hole on the course, but it is up in the top with them with it. Just the looks and the play of it. I like it because it's not a simple 2.
No, it's not. Like, I feel like you definitely, for the first 3 that we've played here, this would be the harder of the 3.
Yes, I would agree with that.
10's like kind of one of those that you want to get, but it's not like always going to be gettable. 11, as long as you're throwing right and putting right, it should be a get for almost everybody. But this one right here is not guaranteed for sure. So
Yeah, definitely.
I just think, even looking at the picture, I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of almost forgot about it, but like, I really like this one. I remember now, like, oh yeah, because I actually have to like turn something and then get it to flex back. So it's like,
Yeah,
it's weird that it's like I'm playing like a S flight on pretty much a straight hole. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
if you just look at the basket, like it's just like right there, just a straight shot, but you actually have to play like a different line at it. So
Yeah,
great
and
design on it.
I feel like that's one of those things too, that it's just a in your head type of thing too, because if you just threw a flip up straight
Yeah.
shot right at the basket, it would be fine, but it's that tree. And I
Mm-hmm.
will say, I think the tee is far enough back, because I remember when I was telling them like tee sign information and stuff, that
Mm-hmm.
anytime that there's something on there, I didn't want anything within like 4 or 5 feet of the edge of a tee on the
Mm-hmm.
left or right, because I didn't want a tee sign on the left close for a lefty to hit their hand when they were falling through. So I'm pretty sure the tree is far enough to where you can stand on the edge of the tee and you can't touch it, I think.
Yeah,
So,
I'm
because I
pretty
was
sure it
telling
is.
them I didn't want stuff close to where people could hit their hands and stuff. So that's why a lot of the tee signs too are pushed like off and like 4 feet to the right of a tee or a left. So
Mm-hmm.
I was just I
I
was
almost think
saying
it's
that
about 20 feet off of the tee, to be honest.
there's a chance that it is.
Yeah, because I remember that, like, it gets in my head, but I think I remember it's like, it's not like I turn right there. It's like I got a little room to get the turn. Does that, if that
Yeah.
makes sense? So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, I don't have anything else about this hole unless you do. It's a
Mhm.
good hole, fun hole.
Yeah, I like this one. It's one of the cool ones.
Sweet. All right. So let's move on to hole number 13. Uh, Disc golf course review. Once again, these distances may not be absolutely correct, but it has this one at 376. The back, or no,
376.
I'm sorry, 276.
I was gonna say, whoa.
It's not 370, it's 276. My bad. I
Yeah.
read that completely incorrectly. Uh, so this basket over your left shoulder would be hole, the last hole's basket that we just played, correct?
No, that is actually hole 8. So that's one of the baskets that is stair stepped that we're looking
Okay, yeah.
to address, like when we talked about it in the front 9.
Okay.
That's one of the ones that we were looking at potentially, as long as the course lets us do it, moving into the woods or even to further to the edge of the woods and moving the tee into the woods,
Mm-hmm.
so that these holes don't play as close together as they do. I designed these to where like this 8's basket was short of this tee,
Mm-hmm.
and this basket was short of HT, to try
That's
to avoid like you getting hit on the tee.
right. Yeah.
If there was by chance a bunch of people out there, there's usually not.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just counting on that most people are not going to overthrow their baskets too much. I tried to keep every basket and tee at least circle 2
Mm-hmm.
away. So each one of these should be about at least 60 feet away from the basket. It looks kind of close, but you should be a little deep of that basket and stuff. So yeah, but that's hole 8.
Okay. All right.
Long way around it.
Right. No, you're good. This one, to me, like, okay, it's 276, not 376.
Yeah, that's
And
more like it.
this one's probably honestly like a fairway driver or maybe a mid range, depending on what my arm's doing that day. More than likely a fairway driver. I would honestly say probably pick a peck on this one just to make sure that I get the distance to it. On a mid range, I feel like I could probably get like the P walk there, but I would be landing like edge of circle, maybe just barely in, and I don't really want to give myself that much of an attempt to miss my putt. You know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
I think I'm going probably peck a peck on this one. Honestly, this one, as you can see, a lot of people in the comments here, you can probably see that it's pretty cut and dry. The only thing, like lefty I don't want to throw something too stable that's going to fade out and skip to the OB to the right, and I guess the righty would be the mistake you would make on this one would be turning something over too much and going over the OB. So, what are your thoughts on this one, Josh?
This is another one of the ones that the only difference between some of the other holes is that you've got OB on the right. So the lefty, I think it's a little bit more in your head, I guess, from a misrelease, I guess, side of things.
Right.
So you underthrow something and it hyzers too much. I have seen righties go OB with either a wrong disc choice or something that just flips or something and never comes back or doesn't come back fast enough, or like a grip lock. There's trees on the right side of that walking path. I have seen that happen before, hit a tree and then it just dumped down right in the walking path, stay OB. So for me, I'm generally throwing over stable, and I throw over the walking path, but I just trust a hyzer over it with like a Kia or something like that. If I really get on a Kia or something like that, I might accidentally go long. But I've went putter and Kia at this one. It kind of depends on the wind that day or how I'm throwing, really. So more than likely I'll go Kia, though, just to be safe, because I know I'm not going to roll one of those over and it stay OB. It'll just, if I hammer it, it'll just go too deep probably and come back.
Right. That's a pump, dude. 376 with a Kia.
Holy cow. What just happened?
And he is gone. Somebody turn the lights off.
Yeah, I'm back, I think, right?
Yeah, you're back.
I touched the touchpad on my iPad's keyboard, and all of a sudden I just went to the home screen. I was like, what the heck happened? I could still hear you, but nothing was there.
So I would say on this one, non-windy day, tournament play, you have to do this one.
Yeah. I'm saying pretty much any of the holes that are in the wide open, it's just have to. You have to get those holes. Because there's not a ton of ones that are super tricky, but the ones that are tricky enough are the ones like hole 12. That is one of the ones that you see parred and sometimes bogeyed the most. Or if you see somebody have a good round, you might look and be like, oh, well, they didn't birdie that hole. Right. Or something. Like, that's an easy one to miss. So, like, following up with 13 is one of those ones. It's there for you to miss. It's there for you to mess it up and not get it, because I think this one's been aced by I think Rob got it. I don't know. Donnie can probably comment in the comments if he's there. I know Rob's got it, and I can't remember if somebody else has aced it or not, but I know it has been aced by them at least, or Rob. Yeah.
So, yeah, this one definitely. I mean, it's if you're not doing this one, you're playing this, you don't do this one, you feel sick to your stomach. Unless it's a real windy day. I could see probably on the day we played it and it rained, I think the rain had stopped. The day we filmed here, I think the rain had stopped by this point, but still the ground's wet, your discs are wet. You know what I mean? You're probably. Donnie says Rob and Tyler.
Okay, so Rob has, and Tyler is his son. So that's okay. I didn't realize Tyler had aced it. I don't think so. That's cool. Shout out.
Yeah, shout out.
That we know of on that one. But yeah, and two, whenever you played it with Griff and me, we didn't have the tees, so to be fair, the wetness was more of a factor than what it is without the tees.
True.
Although tees can be slick whenever it's wet sometimes, but so it was a little bit more of a factor. But I'll say this is one of the ones that is easier to miss in the open than some of the others because it's a little bit longer. Like this one in like hole 10. 10's not necessarily in the open, but it is. It's got a couple of trees on it, but the shot is open if you're a righty. Like it's a backhand hyzer about like this,
right?
And a very similar distance. I think I had to hit a Kia a little bit harder to get to 10. But yeah, you definitely want to get this one. I will agree.
I think another thing that I'll say, of course, the OB on the right, but another thing that could potentially make this hole harder than some of the other ones is that there's absolutely nothing in the fairway, which is like nothing to gauge distance off of. You know what I mean?
That's a really hard thing with open courses that I've found out. Like not just open courses, like like Frank or Cherokee or something, but just courses that have trees everywhere, but where you're playing, it's just like, is that 200 feet actually, or is that 250 or something? And then you're relying on tee signs, and I can guarantee some of our tee signs are wrong. We need to get some vinyl cut or something like that and put on it, because the tee sign distances are not correct on a few of them. Some of them are correct, but a few, for some reason, the distances didn't get put on correctly. So it can definitely mess with you for sure.
Oh yeah, that's one of the hard things for me. Like that's because this honestly is like more like a, if you're thinking about longer courses, like say Cherokee, for instance, this is like one of your upshots on like a Cherokee type course, or maybe Panther, some of the more open holes. So it's like making sure that your distance control is there, and there's nothing really to gauge that distance.
Tyler.
Hey, there you go. You can't get a better shout out than that. You know what
shout
I mean?
Out.
If we don't get a thumbs up on this video from Tyler for that, then I'm sad. I'm very sad.
I'll tell you this, whenever I start, whenever I can get with the town, which I'm hoping is going to be pretty soon, Pennington, one of the things that I might do with, or see if it's an option with some of the holes that we have out here that are not going to be able to get changed, really, is see if they would want to get some trees and plant.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Strategically, like see if they can get some 15 or if they could even get 20-foot trees. I would be happy with that, because that would be great. And strategically plant them, because then I could put them like on the left side of this basket, kind of left back, and funnel you into that basket, have some coverage from that tee. And then if we're able to push that one into the woods and have like another couple trees on the outside near this basket, that would help kind of block shots and guide a fairway and stuff. So I want to do that. I've been wanting to do that at Fraley for a while, because trees keep falling there. But that could be something that we could potentially use as a thing if the town has a budget or something to be able to get trees and do that, because hole 10 could use that as well. Like where hole 11's tee is, because I don't think we can change hole 11, is to maybe guard off that tee with like some guardian trees on that right side of the basket to kind of just block it to where it's a little bit of protection from discs coming in and stuff. And if you notice, hole 11's tee is a little bit farther back and to the right of 10's basket, which I was trying to push it as deep as I could without getting too swampy. And it still gets swampy right there. But yeah, that's something I want to see if I can talk to them about, is adding some trees.
That'd be a great addition. I say that all the time on courses. It's like, by the way, the sound. I say that all the time on courses. Like, I think that Greenville course needs some of that, where there's some of the holes that are kind of back and forth and nothing really in between them. Which, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like there's some of that here. You know what I mean? But a few trees planted could solve, and just make mandos out of some of them. You know what I mean? Which could solve a lot of the issues on stuff like that. So
yeah, I mean, that's one of the things. Actually, probably on the next hole that we're about to talk about, is something I'm probably gonna try to implement, because we've already got one mando on the course, and I'm thinking about at least putting one more in. So yeah, that's a possibility. I'm gonna have to see what we can do on that side, because that's a good way. And usually people don't frown upon using money to plant trees.
First, what also, I mean, and also it helps with safety.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Planting trees is, it's great. Who would not want to plant? We try and plant trees in our yard almost every year, don't we, Amanda? I mean, like we did last year on her birthday, we planted a couple trees in our backyard. So just
Charlie.
Yeah, so that's what I brought that up to show there. You said you gave it, what was it, a Tui?
No, what it was is it's actually one of my throwing Takapoos. because he likes beadless putters. So I let him feel the Tui, and I let him putt my I think it's a Magma. Takapoo, and he was standing on the hole 10's tee this morning at Harmon and putted to hole 18's basket and and hit the cage. I was like, he putted it, and I said, oh, he's sold. Oh, he's sold. And he goes, ding.
Let's get some RPM in that bag, Charlie.
It was close. Hey, I let him feel the Qatari too, because he was asking somebody about PD2s. Oh, I was like, here's your PD2. I was like, and you can probably find them pretty readily around here. Yeah. Baysinger can get a hold of them for sure.
I'll literally give him a Qatari if he'll put it in his bag.
I also talked to him about getting our doubles in. So,
oh, sweet. That'd be nice.
Yeah, we need to get that.
For sure. All right. Well, hole, what was this? 13.
13.
I don't have anything else about it. It's one of those, like we said, got to get it. Tournament day. You got to get it. I'm going to do this too. I'm going to do a little bit closer towards the thumbs down, but I don't think it's a bad hole. I think it's just,
it's nothing in the fairway type of, it's just a boring hole to look at, kind of. Another one of those.
Right.
It's a story of a park style course.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I agree. I mean, there's nothing bad about it. I mean, we got to have these kind of courses for disc golf to keep succeeding. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I love, as much as I love stuff like Panther and a big challenge like that, we got to have these kind of courses. So
I could easily make this hard on a righty if I added trees.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Just put trees on the right side of the basket and be like, here you
go. You could.
If I really wanted to, if I really want to be, what would it be? Is it masochistic or what? What is that? Whenever you like to punish yourself or something?
Yeah, I think it is
because I'm a righty. Yeah. I'm a righty, so I mean, it would just destroy my shot. So.
Hey, that'd make me more likely to do it, so go for it. I plan to see that.
Put a whole wall of trees.
It looked like the end of hole 2 at DGC with the mott sticks.
Maybe I can just tell them to do that. I'm like, here, listen, just take all kinds of lumber and just jam it into the ground all the way down through this fairway, make a fence.
Hey, maybe that's one thing you could do on one of these holes. I don't mean to stray too far on this one hole, but maybe one of these shorter holes, mostly open, maybe you could get them to get their hands on like some old lumber that's not being used, railroad ties or something like that, and make an island, like a 50, 60-foot island you have to land in.
Fraley, I told everybody, I said, if there's another tree that falls at Fraley, I am putting triple Mandos in everywhere. We're going to go across. There's right across the river. You can see it. Somebody a long time ago evidently planted bamboo, and it's went nuts across the river. And people go over there all the time and cut it. I said, we're going to cutting all that bamboo, and we're making triple Mandos like the DGC. And every hole you got to go through a triple Mando. And then a tree fell, and I said, I guess we're going over there.
That's funny
to do that. So I could do that. It'd be like, hey, how about we do one of these little triple Mandos here on one of the open holes?
Hey, I think it'd be fun. You know what I mean? Change it a little bit, just not too gimmicky. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But make it more of a challenge on one of the shorter open holes.
I've played one course that was kind of like that. It was at like a school, but this course has since now been pushed down to a 9-hole, but it was like at 20 holes whenever I played it. I went for a tournament, and they had all kinds of like kind of cool stuff implemented in. Like they had one hole that was a little bit elevated, and they had tires all around the basket that were half buried. So you'd have them like sticking out of the ground as like U's, and they had stuff like that. And the elevated basket was like 3 or 4 tires stacked up and filled that the basket was in. So they had some stuff like that. And I was like, it's kind of neat. It's like a little cool looking thing. Yeah, I mean, it was like a 360-foot hole too. So it was in an open field, but it had like a cool little green or something like that. So with those tires, I was like, I don't really mind that all that much. It's not like a 100-foot hole with that on it. It's a mash, and then you just got a little bit of green. I wouldn't want that on every hole, but it was just something. I was like, that's unique. I haven't seen that before. Like a little tire, almost like it's a jungle gym type of
Add some
thing.
aesthetics to it.
Yeah, it was cool, and it kind of fit too because it was in a public park with like baseball fields and stuff, and like playgrounds and stuff. So I was like, it kind of fit with like the look where it was at a school and stuff. So it was cool, but
nice.
I don't know that they would let me bury tires there, but
kind of seems to kind of go against the ecosystem, but you know, what do I know?
Yeah, what do I know? I don't know.
All right, so I guess 13 we both said, which will, no wait 13. Yeah, we both kind of said it's there, but it's not. I'm not calling anybody and telling them to go play hole 13 here.
Yeah, but go play hole for 13.
Yeah, do go play. Go play all 18, not just 13.
Yeah.
Anything else about this one before we go on to 14?
No, I'm good on it.
All righty then. So I'll go ahead and throw up the picture for hole number 14 here. You can see myself on this one doing, let's see, look at the distance here. It says 194 feet, and I feel like that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, I think it's right in that 200 foot or so.
Yeah. So this is a really fun one. To me, this is one of the more fun holes that I think of on the course when I think of this course in my head. It's also one of those where it's mostly open, but you utilize the trees in this area to make it to where you still have to hit somewhat of a line. So if I'm not mistaken on this one, what I'm doing is taking probably something like a Qatari, probably, or maybe even a Takapoo. I don't really have a Takapoo that's really stable. I have some that will fade, but they're not really stable that I can turn over and get them to consistently fade out. So I'm guessing I would probably go Takapoo on this one, maybe like the beat in Takapoo, so I get some turn, and it almost plays like off the tee of hole 12, but shorter, and then you got the trees on the side there. So if I'm not mistaken, it's past the second tree down there, right?
Yeah, so the tree that's like just barely inside your little green dot is probably like 5 to 8 feet from the basket.
Okay.
So you're just past that tree by like a foot or two, and then it's like within about 5 to 8 feet to the left of it, like the trees to the left of it. So it's if you get to that tree, you should be getting a 2. I've landed behind that tree and probably had like a 15-foot putt before, so it just makes you straddle if you get behind it. Okay. Is basically all it does. And the walking path wraps kind of back behind, so if you accidentally throw deep on this one, it's pretty easy to go OB. I've done it if you just throw something too straight. So I think I
actually did that.
There's a chance, yeah. I mean, I think if you throw it like anywhere close to like 230 straight, or if you like throw like a lefty and it hyzers out to the right, it's very easy to go OB.
Right. So for the people in the comments here that wondering why I'm personally going to the left of those trees and letting it fade out to the right, or well, I want to go to the left of those trees and then fade back to the right. And the reason I'm doing that instead of like you kind of look at it here and it looks like just a straight play, like maybe a P walk or something like that. But the reason I'm doing that is because just like you said, that path wraps around. So if I don't actually get on the P walk, and you know, if a P walk, you want to kind of, it's a touchy disc. So to me, sometimes I actually get it to fade out because I throw it with touch and don't actually get it. Like I said, you know, but if I don't get it turned, then I am definitely going to fade out and go OB. Because if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but the OB is probably only 35 feet to the right of this basket.
Well, maybe something like that. It's I mean, the closest it gets, it might be somewhere close to circle's edge or something like that. It's hard. I can't remember exactly, but I mean, you've got a legit chance at hitting a putt from the OB. Like if you go OB right next to the basket, but it is not like a tap in. So it's probably close to like that circle's edge or something. Now I will tell you this. one of the changes that I was potentially talking about, this hole would hurt you.
Let me throw it back up so you can describe it here. Hold on, just...
so I can break your heart.
Yes, don't break it too much because I really like this.
So the first tree on the left here, not the one right next to you, or I guess it's the second tree that's here on the left. You got 3 stair stepping.
Mm-hmm.
That tree, the second one, I am potentially looking at putting a Mando on that tree.
I hate you.
I will tell you why. Is because over here to the left of the basket in that gap is hole 7's tee.
Oh, okay. All right. That makes sense.
So, because I've seen people purposely throw forehands with like a Firebird or something really hard, and they literally fly right at hole 7's tee. So if you blast one and turn it over, you could go long and go on that tee. So I've thought about adding a Mando to the left, or maybe even do a double Mando or something like that, and put one on one of the right trees and the left trees, just to make it kind of equal if you grip lock or something as a righty, and it's automatic. Miss Mando, so just something like that, because generally I don't like Mandos just for Mando's sake. But if it is something that's kind of more for a safety reason, like what this kind of would be like in a tournament play,
right,
or something to keep people from purposely going over there. Yeah, you might accidentally go over there, but for a purpose thing, it would be, you'd see less shots probably end up over there at that point. You would see more people grip. You would see more people like righties grip lock probably or something than early release. So, because it just puts it in their heads. But so that's the only reason I thought about it. It would make this whole play harder probably, just because people will miss Mandos and stuff. Even not even just for lefties, it's just Mandos scare people. So like I said, if I put one on that left tree, who knows? I might put one on the right. If you miss the right one, it's a bad shot probably, but still, it's there for. There is a bench over to the right as well. So I mean, it might be one of those things. I put a Mando there just in front of where that bench is too, just to ensure, like, hey, don't try to for some reason be cute and throw a big hyzer over the path or something like that just for fun.
Yeah,
or something, because every now and then somebody will be like, I want to throw that Simon line or something like that just for the heck of it or something like that. So I might do that and just call it a day, and it make that hole a little bit harder for like somebody that throws a forehand purposely, because that is the widest open part of the fairway right there. I mean, that's obviously why you throw it. I mean, it's there. If it's there for a shot you've got, I just don't like throwing forehands as much anymore. And to be honest, when I play this course, I've thrown so many forehands. Doesn't matter if that's the most open shot for me right there. I just want to throw a backhand at this point. Like, I want to throw some backhands and have more fun. And we'll see. I'm probably gonna go do the Mando on it and just hope you forgive me.
No, I actually like that. I mean, static's back, by the way, but yeah, for safety reasons, I 100% think that. I mean, that'd be great, and it would, like you said, it would add a challenge to the hole. So, I mean, more of a challenge. I think honestly, what that would do for me, if you were to put the Mando on there, it would force me to do the P walk, and it would force me like the OB would be. I would be much more likely to hit the OB on this one. You know what I mean? Which, if I'm not mistaken, I think on this video we filmed, I know one of the 2 times you and I played this course, because I've only played it twice, but I know one of the 2 times I missed and went OB and then had that short putt and that's why I remember the OB being fairly close to the basket, because I'm like, oh, I could still save my par. And I remember very specifically missing the putt and taking a 4 on this very short hole. So, but yeah, well, I mean, and I've kind of been open in the past about how, on the previous hole discussions, about how I actually prefer the flip up shot over that hyzer. So I would kind of like that, because it would force me to play the shot that I'm more comfortable with. So actually, I might end up having a higher percentage of 2s on this hole. And I know it sounds weird, you know what I mean? But it would force me to do my more comfortable shot, which may, help me. Honestly, it sounds weird, but
well, yeah, and I mean it's one of those things too. If you commit to that shot and it goes left, as long as you make that Mando, you're probably still going to be in the circle.
right, and it's an ace run as well.
Yeah, like even if you go in front of that tree that I was talking about, it's next to the basket with the lefty backhand, and it gets down to the ground or something like that, you could get the cut roll around to the basket, or you just might land at that tree. So, I mean, if you commit to it enough, who knows, you might go a little deep on the left, but you still got a legit putt at it. So, I mean, if it makes you commit to that angle a little bit more than because you have to throw that line.
Exactly, yeah.
It might work out and take some of the guesswork. I mean, it's the same way whenever I mean, a lot of people do this too, is whenever you go into the bushes and you're looking and like, I have no way to make this putt except this hole right here. And then it's a crazy amount of times you see somebody make the putt. That's the weirdest putt you've seen because there's one way to do it.
They have to hit that line, and
you have to throw the putter out that gap and just hope that it fades or does whatever it is you put the angle on. And you see people make those putts a lot because they don't have to overthink. It's not like, do I need to hit it here or here or here? It's just like hit it there and hope. And I mean, it works a lot of times. It simplifies your shot. So I mean, it might be something that could help at some point.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Stelly and Mother who made it here.
Yeah, I saw Stelly went off on some comments, and I can't tell if he was mad about what I was saying or if he was right about what.
He said you're going to add the alligator pit directly behind that basket, which with the double Mando and the alligator pit, that hole's tricky.
Yeah, well, I saw he said that might be the most painful way for you to change his hole, and I was like, adding a Mando, and then I was like, maybe he's talking about the alligators.
I think he is talking about the alligators.
At first,
that would be a little more painful than a no B stroke. I don't know. I've never been bit by an alligator.
Just ask Chubbs.
True, very true. Oh, well, hole 14, I guess we can go ahead and start wrapping this one up. This is a very fun hole. This is one of my favorite ones on the back. Honestly, I'm going to go ahead and say this one's my favorite one on the back nine so far. That may change. I'm not sure, but actually I know it will change because I already know. But I'm not sure when we get there. But this is a very fun hole. It's one of those. And honestly, like I said, if you do make those changes, I think it'll still be just as fun, you know what I mean? Because that option is there for me now. I just don't do it because I just do the little turnover and let it fade back. You know what I mean? I need to get one of them Stelly Takapoos he's talking about. I'm thinking about getting a platinum one because I hear they're more stable. So
I do have a platinum one. It tends to be my more stable one. Tends to be. It can take a little bit more torque. I
just wish they had the bird on it. If I buy a platinum Takapoo, will you dye the bird on it for me?
I can see if I can do that.
All right. So
I'll dye the bird on it, but it'll have your face.
That's an ugly bird.
The Baysinger
I do not wish to see on my life list.
Oh, wait, no, I've got it. The Joshua Poo.
Can you do Seth's face instead? I don't have a disc with Seth's face on it anymore.
You did.
I know.
For like 3 days. I actually saw the pictures of that the other day. I was like, man, I wish you'd get that back. Go punch somebody in the face. Take it back.
Somebody's got it. Dang, we're resulting in violence over here.
Listen, that was a cool one. It has its own video.
You're right. Yeah.
I don't know who's got that thing, but man,
probably somebody that's subscribed to you. You need to question your subscribers.
They don't deserve it.
All right. So 14. Do you have anything else about that one before we go on to the next hole?
No, I think we covered everything on it.
All right, then. So we'll go ahead and move on to hole 15 here, which this golf course review has at 233 feet. You can see a much less serious Griff here. He's lining up a shot instead of thinking about life there. So this one, what I say, 233. So this one for me probably going to be honestly P Walk or beat in Dave Feldberg Strata Kotaku for me. Possibly a Pekka Pekka, depending on how my arm's doing that day. So I believe the OB wraps behind this basket as well. Am I correct?
It does. It's more so in play, like, I guess if you turn something over, because this basket is probably, well, I say that, but I think Griff, I can remember when OB
Yeah,
on this
I
one
think I
deep.
remember that too.
But I'm pretty sure it's like 40 or so feet deep of the basket. So it kind of depends on what your favorite type of throw is. Because at this distance, like it is in that 230, 240 range, I think. I throw a putter at it. So I really have to commit myself to actually throwing a putter far to go OB on it. And I'm throwing a backhand, so it's usually going to fade back to the left. So the OB gets farther and farther away as you go left. So it's more so for like either the wrong disc selection, maybe, or maybe it's just you're comfortable throwing another disc or something, and you don't usually throw it that far, and you just rip it or something like that. Like I think that's what happened with Griff, is he threw that thrasher. If I'm not, yeah, he did. He threw like a thrasher or something like that, and it just skipped. Because there is some dirt on that side. But this is the hole also that they added a picnic table right next to the dadgum basket.
Oh, okay. All right.
So
is it to the right of the basket or
yeah,
behind?
it's literally between all those three trees, and it's the concrete pad that it's on. Is I walked it off. It is literally exactly 15 feet to the right of the basket.
Oh gosh. Ooh,
Yeah,
scary.
it's very very close to the basket, and it's in the absolute worst spot because a majority of players are right-handed and a majority of people are going to throw a hyzer. So, I mean, it's one of those holes to where this was kind of a cool one to me. And then once that happened, it just made me mad, and I immediately went
That's
to not liking the
unfortunate.
hole.
Yeah, that's definitely unfortunate because I mean, while this is a multi-use park, I mean this part of the disc golf portion of it was, designated a couple. I mean, it's been like 2-3 years now.
I think it was close to at least 2 years, something like that.
Okay.
I don't know. It's just they added it in, and I think what it was is a donated, like a donation to in memory of somebody, and they requested that be the spot, and then they just said okay, and then their crew just went out and put it in, and didn't even really ask or anything. So that was kind of like the crew went and did what they were told by somebody else, but it didn't kind of go through like I guess any other channels like that would be above them. It's just like, okay, go put it in, and then they didn't kind of discuss where it was going to. Because I mean, literally, I mean, it could have been, it wouldn't have been ideal, but I mean, they could have put it 30 feet back on the edge of the path, back behind it, and it probably wouldn't have been an issue because then you have to throw it like I was talking about. You just have to overthrow it. Still would be potentially in a spot, but this is just in the absolute worst spot because I throw a putter hyzer at those trees and try to come right in front of them. So if you accidentally pump it too hard, you're hyzering over that where that picnic table is now.
True.
So
Yeah.
this is one of those ones where if I get it how I'm going, this hole's not going to exist anymore. It's just going to get replaced because the picnic table's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
They poured a concrete pad and concreted it in. It's not going anywhere. My basket you can pick up and move. So as long as they give me another spot to use, or let me do what I want to do. I don't want to put another just open field hole.
Yeah.
Which was an option in the stretch that you walk back to 16. where that between 4 and 5.
Oh, yeah.
Would be an option. Now, that's where I want to move it to, but I don't want to put it in that field. What I want to do is there is a bunch of kudzu over there, but they said that they could get a lot of equipment, and I'm hoping what maybe could be done is just like take like a what do you call it, a skid steer or something, and scrape it and get all that kudzu out and tuck it back into the trees that are kind of behind hole 4's basket. So you'd have hole 5's tee right here and then have hole 15's somewhere near it. And then you'd be teeing off in the same area, just going opposite directions. And do that. So that's my solution, because it was either I used that stretch originally for 15 and had the longer walk from 14 to 15, or I had the shorter walk from 14 to 15 and had a longer walk to 16. So it's if it goes how I'm wanting to, it's going to end up being just a longer walk to 15 and then a shorter walk to 16. So
right, yeah.
Either way, you're going to be walking the same amount of distance. It's just between holes. But yeah, so that's the unfortunate thing about this hole is that picnic table. But it was a cool hole.
I really like it. It's fun, and I'm really surprised that they put it on that side of the path, because if I'm thinking about taking my family there, I would rather have it on the other side, closer to the creek.
To the river, yeah.
A river, I call it a creek.
Yeah,
I made that mistake last time.
Oh, yeah, and it's definitely a river, especially when it floods, because that place gets high. Actually, that corner right there is where people go and swim. Right in that bend. There's a bench already there on the sidewalk past the basket. It's not on the sidewalk, but right next to the sidewalk. And there's a little area where people sit, and they'll put chairs out and stuff, and then they'll go out there, and there's like it's almost like a gathering pool in the corner of like where the river bends. And it's a deep spot right there, and people go out there and swim and stuff all the time in the summer. So I've seen many people out there swimming and stuff. So, I mean, it'd be one of those spots where I'm assuming that's why they put the picnic table there. But I was just like, man, they literally had like that huge space right over next to hole 5. That was wide open with nothing near it.
Yeah, so that's I don't know. Odd. You don't never know. I mean, odds are the people that put the picnic tables in, they might not even realize. You know what I mean? They might not even know what those baskets are. I still see it all the time where people don't even know what the baskets are. You know? Yeah. I had somebody comment on a video of mine not long ago. I guess it popped up in their shorts feed randomly, and they commented on my video, and they were like, "Oh, that's what." Now I know what those things at the parks are for now. And I'm like, "Wow, it's crazy that we've not." You know, that we're just there now. Yeah, that's what I was looking at too. I saw you say 5. Sparkplug 28. I don't know who that is, but they said
he's in a car.
Yeah, he's keeping a car running. Good on you,
he's keeping the car running. Hole 5. So they're moving that.
Yeah, there's going to be some changes there. There's some stuff. Hole 5's the one going up the hill with the tree line to your right.
Yeah, and they had a blue basket like really long up on the right side.
Right, yeah. So they're going to have to – they're doing a firefighter training facility or something like that there, and some of those holes have to change. I've heard that 4 blue and 5 blue are being taken out. So,
oh, wow.
I hope those changes are good. I'm not sure. I've also heard speculation that 4, 5, and 6 are gone. So I don't know for sure.
I've seen people talking in the group and be like, man, why this is in use or something like that. And then people getting on there and saying that, well, it's not going anywhere, but they're surveying and doing stuff. So it's one of those things, I guess you got to wait to see what actually happens. You get a lot of hearsay when it becomes down different channels. So you never know until you're talking to the head people at like a city or a town what they're actually wanting to do with something. And if it's something bigger than what disc golf is, it's one of those things they're going to push it more than likely. The only thing is, I'd be curious to where where they would add any other holes. Maybe those woods over to behind 8.
Yeah,
and stuff. I don't
sure.
know what they could do there, but I've been in there helping people look for discs off a hole 18s that didn't throw a good drive off that really long tee. The blue, is that the blue tee? Pro tee, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Pro tee over there. So I don't know if that would be something that they could do to like try to break into those woods and add some holes to and change the flow from like 9 being out there or 10 starting at the parking lot. It sucks when you have to do that, unless you can keep that. I don't know. You couldn't do that. I don't know. It'd suck if you had to add 3 holes somewhere else and do it, because then at that point too, there might end up being that some of your long holes have to get cut into 2.
That's true
as well. I don't know how much land they own.
I don't either, honestly. I played Frank yesterday, and I'll say there's a lot staked off. If what's inside the stakes is being cut out, then yeah, like 4, 5, and 6 are doomed. Unfortunately, at least 4 and 5. So
the only thing that I would say is like hole 4. I think it's hole 4. Hole 4. I've seen tournament play have problems with people at the playgrounds. Yes. And also hole 6. I've actually been on a card with people getting their discs taken by kids.
Yeah.
At a tournament before, and people having to play a lost disc, and then they'd be like, "A kid over there took that disc if you were looking for it."
Yeah.
Or something like that. And it's like, what the heck? It's not. You should be able to put that back where you the people say it is, and play, because that's manipulating your lie. But yeah, so I mean that area is a really crowded spot.
What if the kid takes it and puts it in the basket? Like, you get an ace?
Yeah, got an ace.
You know what I mean? Like, we don't know.
Part of the course.
Yeah. All right. Get a little bit back on track here. We were on hole 15 where the picnic table is. It's unfortunate but like we said, same thing we're saying about Frank. Course changes, especially on these public parks, sometimes just absolutely have to happen. So that's one of those things that happens. You know what I mean? So this hole for me, I'm going to give it a thumbs up and kind of lean it this way because I'm sad that it's going to change. You know what I mean?
That's what I was going to say. I'm going to put it here because it went to here.
It's doing this right here.
Do here. We had it at the exact same angle. Yeah,
but as it is now, it's a really good hole. I like it. I mean, it's another one of those where, I think if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if it was when we filmed here or if it was when you and I played it last. But I remember this is one of those holes where the distance control, even though there's trees there, like for some reason it looks off to me because I remember throwing a shot and I was like, oh my gosh, that's terrible. And I was like 4 feet or like,
yeah.
I was do you remember that? One of the 2 times. I was
pretty sure I remember that too.
And then we got up there and you're like, what's wrong with the 2 here? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. What's wrong with a 2-foot putt? I guess it
was like a bullseye shot. I'm pretty sure.
It's not in.
Yeah.
No, it is one of those ones like distance control. Because, like I said, I'm specifically trying to throw a hyzer and miss like barely in front of the first tree you come to on the left.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I'm aiming, like I'm throwing at those trees, and my aim is to go right in front of them. It's not like go through them. I want to go right in front of them and just skirt past them. Because if you do that with a putter and hit the ground, it usually slides right to the basket. Like it's just on the trajectory for it. So.
You get that pink fade instead of a dumping fade, and it goes toward. I can see that for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hole 15. I'm good on it. Unless you have anything else that you want to. This may be our farewell discussion on hole 15.
Maybe. I hope like it ends up being like. Because this is what got me talking about, like, we need to change this because you all put a picnic table right next to the basket and it's not safe. Right. So it's not safe. Definitely. So then I think if we end up actually being able to go through with the changes, this is what's actually going to be what started it.
Yeah.
Getting the rest of the holes fixed.
To make it safer.
to make it safer. Yeah. So I mean, potentially we could have like a cooler course that's not quite got as many repeat holes, kind of like on the front nine and stuff, with them doing that. So it could end up, as long as we actually do get to do the other changes, it could end up being one of those things. It was like, oh well, that's not a bad thing. It happened. It just sucked, but then it eventually made the course better because we did have to change. So I'm hoping that's what we end up getting out of it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, hopefully, I mean, good vibes going that way for that hole. You know what I mean? Hopefully, it ends up being
give me the head shake.
A better hole. It's a good hole. Maybe it can be a better hole. Who knows?
No head shake?
Would it?
There we go.
All right.
I was going to do it till you did it.
I feel like a ball head right now. So, all right. Let's go ahead and throw up hole number 16 here, which is, he's saying, but.
No, you said let's go ahead and throw up.
Oh, okay. I got you. Hole 16 here, this golf course review has it 331. I feel like that's off. I think it's way shorter. Well, I don't know.
What was the distance?
331.
This one is actually, I think, right at 340 or right around that.
Okay, all right.
It's a pump. I have to throw a fairway.
I think I remember that I've actually not two'd this one yet. Of course, I've only played this course twice, but I don't think I've two'd this one yet. But I do remember, so I guess you can't really tell. We'll tell people here in the comments that are watching in the live feed. You can't really tell here, but you're throwing back across the river here. So I guess right in front, is it right in front of that dirt? Not the sand right directly in front of you, but the dirt. That's the edge of the hill, right?
Yeah, literally, if you look to the left of the photo over here, the farthest left over top of the white rocks, you see the dark. That is the river right there. And that is the river bank right there. It's rock river bank. So that's that is the river, and that little gray sticking out, that's like a triangle shape right above all that is the bridge that you walk across over there, the slant up. So I mean, if you look how small the basket is, you can tell it's fairly kind of far away. So
I actually remember now after saying that I remember that I've not two'd this one yet. I know I've got up there for a putt, but I know I've not two'd this one. So that's on my list of holes, or list of twos that I need to get on this course, because I'm pretty sure out of the 2 times that I've played this, I've probably two'd, I would say 15 or 16 of them, maybe.
Okay, yeah.
But
I can say that's
definitely not
accurate.
one. Definitely not one. Probably cannot two that one, but I would say it's pretty close to that. You know what I mean? I would say definitely over 10 of those I've two, because I know I shot 9 that one day we played.
I was going to say that I'm pretty sure you shot like 9 under or something that day we played. So you've had to at least birdie that many.
Mm-hmm. So this one longer hole, in my opinion, and well, not really my opinion, it is fact, a little bit more difficult for the lefty, because the 2 options would be either hyzer around that tree on the left, which makes this hole play so much further.
Like 400 feet probably.
Right. Or playing like a flip up shot. And I think that's what I'm doing on this one. I'm probably more than likely going Kahoo XG, probably on an Anheuser, depending on which way the wind's going. Probably Kahoo XG on a little bit of Anheuser and get it to turn just after that tree, and then just get full flex and try and get up there. You know what I mean? This is a hard one for me because, my arm, like if this one's, you said closer to 340.
I think it's right around the 340. I think it's in that 340 range.
So that's like a good drive for me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Previously in the past, I've done quite a bit better than that, but in my current age and state and body size, 340
Tennessee
is there you go. It's funny. But I think longest drive I've had in recent times was like 350. So and that's with a flippy run Qatari. So I actually have to get. Now thinking of that, I might actually go with that the flippy run Qatari. Still,
is that like a 821 run or whatever?
Stop telling people. God.
The 942 run.
There you go. That one. I do want to throw. Hold on, we're getting too much on RPM talking, less about the hole. But I want to say, before I want to put this picture up again. Hold on, let me take this comment down here. My it's acting kind of slow here, so I want to say shout out for the excellent Ninja Turtle socks here.
Oh yeah, I love those things. I think those ended up getting a daggone hole in them, and I don't get to wear them anymore. But I want to get more of them because I love cool socks. So I've got all kinds of Batmans and stuff. And the fun fact is, those are what I call my tournament socks all the time. Is like I wear them all other times too, but I always like wearing like either Batman socks. Like today, I wore my cool Pekka Pekka shirt. That I made. It has the Pekka Pekka on it, and just on the back it says "Cool Pekka Pekka shirt." And then I wore Batman socks and stuff. I always try to do
that. Looks like Donnie said wind left to right 90% of the time on this one. Maybe that's why I've never tooed that one.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say that, and then he said it in the comments, and I was like, I'm sure you'll pull that up. But that was one of the things I was gonna say. Is that's the field that you play hole 1 and 1 on that we've already covered in the front 9, and that's always. That field's probably like 1,000 or so feet long. It's it's got 2 500-foot holes on it. So at least it's got a 550s. So it's at least probably 1,100 feet long. And you're playing perpendicular to that at that point, and it's always going that direction. So yeah, it is one of those ones like a righty hyzer. It's a little bit harder to get the actual hyzer sometimes. Or if you turn something over, it'll blow it farther to the right than what you want. Even an overstable disc, if you expose the bottom of that flat plate trying to play like a flex, you might go a little bit too far right and go deep of the basket because it gets that little extra carry from the push. But if you throw it on hyzer and it's a ripping wind, then it's going to smash you down too. And I think that kills distance sometimes for people on that. I'm probably throwing maybe a Huya, or I've been throwing a Terra on it too.
Good Lord, that's a crush for those discs, man. That's wild.
I just aim to get into circle with them, but like the Terra, where it has a little bit more glide, if I need more push that day or something, I'll do that. I'm pretty sure I can get a Huya. Like if I can throw a Huya 330, then I'm 10 feet from the basket. So I've told you my reasoning before.
Yeah. So no, I understand. I love that play. I wish I could think more like that. You know what I mean?
So, I mean, I might do that, and especially if it's really windy or something like that, and I don't want to get anything, because those are not going to turn over on me. If I throw them on Annie, they're still going to just – it might help me to throw it on Annie and get a little bit more push with the Huya or something like that. But fun fact, this is my only ace on the course.
What?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
No, it wasn't. Sadly, it wasn't with an RPM disc or anything. It was back, I think, when I think I might have been on a street team still, or either I was fresh off the street team and I aced with my first ever FX2 I had. And it was the round that I shot the course record. So it helped me get into that course record thing, and then I got too hyped up and I missed the next hole because I was hyped up because I aced.
Gosh,
but it is
crazy,
one of the cool aces that on the course, I think.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
and I'm super mad at you because I just saw Jeffrey Stelly's comment. I thought we'd agreed to quit talking about soft tuies, but
what is it? What I hadn't even seen it. Cringe like sidearm. I'm reading some other.
No. It's
no.
on the screen. It says Delp convinced me to putt with soft tuies.
I'm gonna have the whole world putting with soft tuies, even people that don't play disc golf.
Man, if you could slowly zoom in on my face as I do this.
Hey, Fergie, Alex Ferguson, he was at the tournament
this
weekend too.
Fergie, what's up, man?
We need to get him on the podcast one day.
You just took the words like you take my tuies out of my hand, take my words out of my mouth.
Word vomit.
I'm just going to have to kick you off of the whole discussion. It's going to be me and Alex from now on.
Well, I tried to today, but
yeah, I know you tried your best. If not, okay, let's go ahead and give him a shout out. If nobody is if nobody in here subscribed to Alex here, make sure you do that. Don't tune out just yet, but when you're done, go over to Alex Ferguson Disc Golf, or when we're done tonight.
Yeah,
or
and
open
then
another tab. Yeah.
Yeah, and then after you go over to his channel, go back over to mine and watch some of my episodes because my views are like I haven't got to upload that much this week. So
Maybe
go view some other stuff.
Maybe that's what happens when you steal people's tuies.
Listen, what I was going to say is if you've been on my channel and not seen as much stuff this week, it's just because I've been busy and I've been getting ready for this tournament. So, like, I didn't have a video go up yesterday because I was playing a tournament. So,
I feel you.
I'm sorry.
I'm not sure who this is in the comments here.
All chains, no glory.
But they said the Kahoo is amazing, but Josh got me jealous when he let me throw that Kahoo XG.
I'm assuming it's you because I don't know that I've let anybody throw. I don't know. Maybe I have. I don't know.
And which Josh is he talking about? I'm confused.
That's what I was gonna say. And don't say our middle name either.
Yeah, because it's not going to help.
Go ahead with the channel name.
If anybody doesn't already know that, Josh and I are.
It's Isaiah Crawford.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. How do you know that already?
I was reading comments, son. I'm faster than the moderator.
Oh, it's now popped up for me. My, this is slow. So, yeah.
And
y'all,
he said,
please.
Crying face.
Is that crying or laughy? That's laughy.
Oh, laughy cry.
Yeah. I did let Isaiah throw my XG, and he needs to find him some. I know they got some on Marshall Street, but
why don't y'all get some?
They don't have them for. I mean, they do if we order through RPM, but we order from Infinite Discs Wholesale. Listen to me. Don't be questioning.
Why don't you have them?
Sending people towards my tuies.
Why don't you have them?
I'm gonna have to do a video that says just completely false, but say why is the soft tuies so bad?
You should just fake putting with other putters and say these are great.
Yeah, these are outstanding. All right,
hey,
we kind of got off discussion there.
Hey, I do got a question.
Yo,
talking about putting. Does y'all's putting challenge still go on like every month or something?
Yeah, we decided we did a poll on the thing on the Facebooks, and it is now a monthly thing. So
okay, and do you only get like one try a day?
You get 2 attempts for every day that you're there. So
okay, so since I'm out of town, I get 10.
No, 2.
I get to do my month in one day.
Hey, listen. Maybe if you wasn't putting with soft tuies, I'd give you some leeway. But
what if I bring 10 T-shirts and change every time and video, and it looks like I'm a different outfit every day? Not a different person. I might even bring a razor and shave.
Watch, I'll say this quietly. Negative.
Ghost Rider.
Stelly, I saw you said talking to Isaiah there. He's one of our fresh new teammate this year. So
yeah.
PM teams.
I don't think I've ever met him, but I knew that he was a teammate.
Absolutely. All right. So back to hole 16. We got way off the rails there. Let's see here. Where I'll throw the picture up once again, just so people can be reminded of the hole, but 331, but Josh says that it's longer than that. And I definitely agree. You know what I'm going to say about this hole? Real quickly, this is my favorite hole on the back nine.
Oh, really?
This is what popped in my head after I said 14. It is, which is kind of cool. I don't have that often where a hole that I have not twoed is my favorite. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of happy that I actually am thinking that way on this one. But what are you laughing at?
The comments. Is that true? Or is he just making stuff up? I don't know if Jeffrey's ever true.
I don't know. I have no clue.
He's almost as good a troll as me.
Pretty good. Yeah, good guy.
Well, he's saying he's Liam Hemsworth.
I have no idea
mother.
who that is.
Oh, you don't know who Liam Hemsworth is?
He's an actor who dated Miley Cyrus, apparently.
Do you know?
according to my
Do you
sources.
know who? Do you know who Thor is?
Yeah, he's Thor.
Like
The Marvel. He's Thor's brother.
I have not
Chris
seen.
Hemsworth. Chris Hemsworth, the guy that has the blonde hair that plays Thor in the Marvel
Oh,
universe. Don't shake your head at me like that. What?
sure,
Come on now. I'm
dude.
gonna
I don't
smack
like
you.
Marvel movies. They're garbage. My hot take for the night.
You're garbage. No, I like Batman, so I don't care if you say that. But I do like Captain America. But yeah, I know you've seen him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I don't know who
It's
he
his
is.
little brother. It's
Okay.
his little brother. It's an actor, and he did
So
date Miley Cyrus.
he didn't hate Miley Cyrus.
I'm pretty sure she's correct.
But, jeez, how do you know it was her? Maybe it was Desmond.
Desmond.
Nobody in the comments.
I know
knows
where
what's
he.
going
I
on.
know where he gets his voice from.
Desmond is my cat.
Oh God, that's pretty good. It's Desmond. Desmond, kick the water over again.
Yeah,
Right now.
he's asleep.
Okay, but anyways, yeah. So okay, I just saw that and was laughing about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So this is your favorite hole in the course.
It is, and I like that. I think that now that I'm thinking that it's one of the few holes that I have not tooed. So you know what I mean. That makes me happy. I don't think I've not tooed 18 either.
No, if you've tooed 18, then you would be in a group of one.
It's you.
No, I'm not in that group. If you were in it, there would be a group of one.
Oh, a group of one. Well, I'm the smart.
I've tried. I've almost done it with a throw in, but no, not yet. I think you like hole 17 too, or 16. Yeah, hole 16 because you can hear all the birds.
That's true. That is true.
That's where you were standing with your phone up in the air trying to like tell me what was what. He's like, "Oh, you hear that?"
Oh yeah, because I heard a Eastern Wood Pee-wee on that hole. Remember?
Yeah, and you was like holding your phone. I was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I got app."
That's what I told you about the app. Did you download it yet?
I do have it. Yeah. It's just like I don't know if it's ever going to make a sound or not, and I was out at that tournament today, so that's why I sent you that video.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That was very early in the tournament too. We started on hole 2, and that was on hole 5 at Harmon. Mm-hmm. So I was like, it's kind of in the morning too, and those birds were going nuts. I was like, they were Baysinger, and I was standing back there while somebody was throwing, and I was going. But yeah,
all right.
So
well,
16.
Yeah, 16. I'm obviously, since I said it's my favorite hole in the course, it's a huge thumbs up to me. It's so much fun, and it's for it to be fairly open. I don't know. I mean, it's not even really a whole lot different. I love the fact that you tee over the water. That's one of the things that I wish was a possibility on the other holes on the course. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Being able to tee over there. Like I was thinking maybe I wish you could do like 14 goes across and then 15 comes back and then 16 goes across or something like that. But
yeah, I was looking the other day actually when I went out with Donnie, actually, that was in the comments. Like back behind 18, there's like this 18's tee. There's like this stretch of land back there that is in their property. And I was like, it'd be cool if you could tee off from here over into there and have a bridge and us work it around some other way to be able to play over there and add a hole. Because what I was saying too is potentially if we could add an extra hole in there and change another one, like if we can't get 15 where we want it or something. I was like, that'd be cool, but then we'd have to get them to build a bridge, which we were like, it'd be cool if we had a swinging bridge or something there.
Oh my.
It sounded like you got hot on that one for me. My.
I don't know about that. Swinging bridge.
Hey,
I'll take
cool,
I'll take the pogies on those 2 holes and go on to hole 16.
No, I think it would be cool though to have something like that. But like we would have to have them build a bridge, and I don't know how feasible that would would be. But it would be cool to be able to tee off more over the water, because that's one of the reasons I do think I like this hole too. Besides the fact that it's the only ace I have on the course, I I have to like it because of that kind of, but I do like throwing over the river. I think it's kind of cool. It's got a good scene to it. It's not as cool as hole 3 teeing off, like looking at it, because I like hole 3 a lot.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're doing the same type of thing, just less trees in the way and stuff. So it is a pretty like little backdrop to look at and stuff and tee off. And it's pretty challenging because of the wind and the distance. It's not like a huge pump, but it's kind of in one of those distances too that people have a hard time managing.
Right. Yeah. Like me. I mean, I'm a perfect example right here. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you got like that wide open field, and it's real easy for like somebody with a big arm to go 30 feet deep or something like that, or you cut it off and throw it 30 feet short. And like we said, it's 90% of the time you've got that wind. So putting in that field is not easy. You kind of want to get as close as you can because there's going to be very few times to where you have just a windless putt out there. The rest of the course, you don't have to worry too much about that because you got some cover with those woods and stuff that's on the sides. But once you get in this field, you really want to get yourself as close to the basket as possible. And especially if you land on the wrong side of this basket, like say you don't flex something over enough and it goes 20 feet to the right, you're going to be putting directly into a headwind. Or if I throw a hyzer and it stays on the right and goes, it's like 20 or 30 feet, I've got a headwind. So, I mean, it's tricky. You kind of want to place yourself where you want to putt from too. So I kind of think of that as well because I would rather be on the left side of the basket putting than I would the right side. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm very so I think that way, but it does make sense now that you say it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, this one, one of the prettier holes on the course, and it's fun. It's in that distance where, like, because I mean, those trees are. I'll throw it up once again before we switch to hole 17. But those trees on the right side, I could almost see somebody like turning something over way too much and even hitting those. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you could do that,
turnover, but I could see it being possible.
And this hole too even looks even prettier now from the tee because you actually have the tee and those white rocks. They kind of piled all around the tee. I didn't even ask them to do that. They just put a bunch of white rocks around it. So I was like, it kind of even looks prettier from the tee whenever you're standing there. But yeah, it is just kind of a cool little look whenever you step up to it. So, and I've seen people have fun with the hole before, and like people with a big arm, like Mike Messersmith came. I don't know if you know who that is, but
I've heard the name, but I don't know him personally.
He's younger. I don't know exactly. Maybe like 20, maybe something like that. But he's really like one of the crushers, throwing like 500, probably a little bit more than 500. I don't know exactly how far. He throws way farther than me. But he took a disc one day when he came out and threw to the left of that tree on a big anhyzer just for fun. Just for fun, just to do it. I was like, what the heck? I don't remember what it
will
did.
say also about even at my arm, I like throwing a couple on this one. You know what I mean? See what happens. Try and get that distance. See if I can get something inside the circle. Because I know I've not tooed it as part of the round. I mean, there's a potential that I've tooed it like on a second throw and second putt or something, or second putt. You know what I mean? But I'm not exactly 100% sure. But yeah.
Hey, well, Mother's coming to town. It sounds like. Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
In the comments.
Well, he lives in Virginia, so he could come play that course for sure.
He's talking about going into Tennessee.
Oh, okay, cool.
And I think he sounds like he's talking about Cam Todd.
Oh, I know. Yeah, Cam Todd lives here now. He's been in Halo. I've met him a couple times.
Does he live there now?
He lives in Johnson City. Somewhere.
Oh, he lived in Duffield for a while.
Oh, that's right. Never mind. Yeah, it's Virginia. That's right.
He lives in Duffield, like 15 minutes away. Never seen him at the course once.
That's a fun story. I met him when he came to Halo. I met him a couple times at Halo, right? And then me and Amanda were up in Kingsport once, and we went to what was that restaurant up there? La Coretta, Kingsport.
Oh, okay,
right?
Yeah.
So we're eating at La Coretta in Kingsport, and we walk in, sit down, and look across from us, and there's Cam Todd, and I was like, "What?" And I talked to him for a second, and then he left, and then Zach Melton walked in a little bit later. So I was like, "Is this like what's going on here? You know what I mean? Like Cam Todd and Zach Melton both in here. It was funny. So, Cam Todd will play with us. I bet. I will post here. Hey, tell Cam Todd to contact me again because he talked to me one time about jamming some music and playing some disc golf. So
he was messaging me at one point saying he wanted to come play the Ridge, and he messed his elbow up at one point.
Oh, okay.
That was when I was putting it in, and I was having where it was playable, but I don't remember if we had all the tees in or not yet. I can't remember. And he was wanting to play, and then nothing ever came of it after that. But he was wanting to come play, and I was like, he lives like 15 minutes away. Like, I had no idea. And I told somebody else that, and they was like, oh, yeah, he lives down there. I was like, I ain't seen him on a course before. I don't know. I've never seen him here. And he's like, yeah, I live in Duffield. I was like, are you kidding me? Are you somebody I know that's just trolling me?
No, he does. I do remember it being Virginia now, but I knew it was somewhere in this, I mean, we're not too far away from each other,
No, he's in that one little weird area that's in between a bunch of places here. So there's like a back way to get to Pennington from where he lives, and then he's like, I can't remember, probably like a 35-minute or something, 35 maybe minute drive to Kingsport, something like that. But it's on that Longs 26, or I think that's the road 26, that 4-lane going from Big Stone to Kingsport.
I need to contact him again and see if he'd be down with the Pro versus Joe, BDGC Joes versus Pro. That'd be fun.
Am I allowed to be a Joe?
No, you're a Pro. You're on his team.
Oh, okay.
Pros versus the Joes. You're allowed to be the filmer in my caddy.
Hey. Not until you accept my offer of you caddying for me. Oh, that's an offer. I told somebody else I'd get him a biscuit.
A biscuit. You going to give me more than one biscuit, but I'll tell you that much. Look at me.
Well.
All right, so let's try and get back on the whole discussion, or we'll be discussing bedtime in a little bit because it's getting late.
Yeah.
So hole 16, once again, it's thumbs up. One of my favorite holes on the course. Probably my second favorite hole on the course, to be honest. It's a very fun hole. So,
yep.
Anything else before we go to 17?
No. I think I'm good on it.
All right, we'll go to hole number 17. So this one's after you finish up with 16 and cross over the bridge, then you're going back out into the open field where hole 1 was, but you're on the other end of the field there. This one, Disc Golf Course Review has it at 246 feet. And I feel like it's shorter than that would be my guess. And I also feel like the tee is quite a bit different than where I think the stick is where we were supposed to tee from, or the tee was supposed to go, but I feel like it's a little different. I feel like it's closer to the woods. Is that right?
Maybe it's not that far off. I'm pretty sure this hole is right around 200 feet.
Okay.
And the tee is generally in the same spot. And I think the tee sign is maybe where you're somewhere in that area on the left side of the tee. This one, you have a ripping. Generally, if it's windy that day, you're going to have a tailwind. Tailwind left to rightish, so it's going to smack down drives in general, or like say if you put something out on hyzer, might get a little bit more push since you're lefty thrown from the left side to the right. So that's in general, because this one's playing kind of perpendicular to hole 16. So this tee is right on that, like you said, it's right near that wood edge that you were looking at on the right side of hole 7 or 16.
Right. Yeah. Almost hidden behind it, really. Right.
Yeah, it's pretty close to behind it. Like I've seen people turn discs over before, and they either go way over it to the right and then hyzer back out, or they just don't get that far over to the right. I mean, it's possible you could get one there, but it's tucked in close enough to the to wood edge to, like, if you turn something over in general, it's probably going to carry farther than what that tee is. So I mean, there's not too much chances that you're going to actually hit at that tee. And I just throw a putter on hyzer at this one, and I try to play the wind usually because, like I said, it's usually some sort of wind pushing kind of left to right-ish. It's tailwind left to right on this one, so I throw a hyzer very close to, like, right at the basket. I throw it, if it's really windy, I'll throw it like almost right at the basket, or just like 5 feet, aim 5 feet to the right of the basket, and just let the hyzer get smashed down straight at the basket. I just always have played that, because if you try to throw that spike hyzer and throw it wide, you're probably still going to end up 25 feet or 30 feet right, because it's not going to let it get back to the left.
Right. But this is one of those for me. I'm pretty sure I'm going Kotaku on this one. I believe when we played it in the video, I think I threw a buzz, and I'm pretty sure you were fussing at me for throwing a buzz instead of a putter. Right? Is that not how it went down?
I was going to say, I was like, why don't you throw a putter? You said, I can't. And then you threw a putter and based
and parked it. Yeah, I think I remember that.
He's like, well, maybe I can. Well, I'm more comfortable throwing my miss.
Right. And it's that comfortability thing. I think I actually got closer with the putter than I did the mid-range. I think it was a buzz back then.
Yeah, it probably was a buzz, because I remember you hit change on hole 5 or something with a buzz that day. So, yeah, I do remember. That's what I was thinking of. I was like, I remember this is the hole I made you throw a putter on.
Yeah. And I mean, it worked out, but it's just that comfortability for me, man. Like, I know for sure I can get the mid there. The putter, I'm not as comfortable, so I feel like I'm going to throw it further. Now I know, yes, I can get there with the putter, but I'm likely going to grip lock it because I'm trying harder. Does that make sense? Whereas with the mid range, I got a little bit more, I guess, more stable. So even if I do grip lock it, then, you know, it's not going to be as bad as what the putter. If I grip lock a putter, say Takapoo now, if I grip lock a Takapoo and release it, like, it's just going to keep turning. I did that yesterday.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just going to keep. Whereas Kotaku is what I'd be going now. Kotaku, I know for sure, even the Strata one is going to get some fade back and more likely to birdie it, I feel like.
You should just throw a premium Tui on hyzer right at the basket and let it just flip up and not throw it hard.
I do want to actually try that. I really do, because I love. Well, I don't know about premium. I don't even bag a premium Tui, to be honest.
Oh, really?
I just don't like. I don't like the dominess of them.
They are domey, but they got a nice flight to them. I'm in between, like, whether it's going to stay in my bag or not, but it's effortless. It's just like throwing a P-walk, but for a putter.
Right.
I can barely throw it, and it's going to flip up and go straight and maybe turn. Like, it's so easy.
And I throw the Magma Soft one, but to me, I get the same flight. It's just that the premium one, I'd have to throw on this amount of hyzer, and the Magma Soft, I have to throw on this amount of hyzer. You know what I mean? So it's
what disc? What disc are you saying?
So hole 17. We're not talking about him again, Josh. I'm not falling for it. Look, here we go. This is exactly right here. Tuis are an absolute gift. You're right, Stelly. 100%.
He said it.
So, yeah, next time we go play this course, I'm going to be honest. I mean, don't hate me for saying this, but I'm probably going to hold off on playing this course for a while until we see if those changes are implemented. Yeah. Because I would like to, I don't get to up that way a lot, and I would like to play the newest implemented design if something does happen. So I might wait. It might be a little while before I play it again, but I'm definitely going to try that Tui flip up shot on this one.
But you're just going to come play the Ridge instead.
I do.
Until that happens.
Really do want to play the Ridge. No lie, I miss that.
Come play the Ridge, and then we can play the alternate baskets at Fraley that you've never played.
I'm good with it. We'll film it because I need to film those for sure. I do want to film those alternates there at Fraley. I do want to say one more thing about, and I'll throw the picture up here, and if I'm not right, then just tell me. But I feel like hole 17, the kudzu and bushes and the thick stuff is maybe 40 feet behind this basket or something like that. So I feel like there's potential to go deep and land in that stuff. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's in that range. It's like it's weird. Like if you go straight over the basket, the deeper you go and kind of left, it's going to be like getting close 50 or 60 maybe feet from the basket. If you're on the right side, it's maybe in that 35 foot or something, maybe range or something. That's one of those things that I'm going to see if they can do something with, like maybe push it or something if they've got like a dozer or something, because there's like a pile of wood, I think, in there as well. Right behind the basket, so I would rather that just get kind of pushed away because I don't want anything like people getting in there and either finding a snake or something like that in a pile of wood or something like that. So I would rather them just push it back and have that, maybe leave the wood line on the right side, but just push that stack or whatever that pile of wood is back and kind of eliminate it from behind the basket just to get that out of there, because it's not even exactly kudzu, it's just kind of weeds. And I think it's just weeds because there's that wood piled up there. It looks like it's maybe like an old tree or something that they cut up and they just put there. And then over time, it's kind of got weedy. Whatever would have been growing in that field is probably what's growing in there. So,
well, I didn't think about the snake and stuff, and that makes sense. But I was going to say that I kind of liked that because that adds an element. This one, I mean, you could almost throw in there with those same. I don't want to get the holes wrong, but 5, 6, 7. You know what I mean? Whatever that stretch was, you could almost throw this one in there with that mix, and with that behind the basket, that kind of adds that element of distance control, kind of like hole 4 at the Halo course. So it's a very short, easy little hole, but the pond's right behind it, so you have to have distance control. So I feel like that's one of the elements that I did like about that. But I mean, you're right, for the safety concerns. I feel like maybe it should be. And it looks like Donnie says it looks like they cleaned a bunch of it out.
They have been doing some cleaning right there. I think there's still some stuff right there. I could be wrong. He might have seen some stuff I haven't really paid attention to, but they've been cleaning some of that edges up on some of the course. So some of it's a little bit more pushed back on the side of the fairways, not quite as close as it was. And in that area, they have cleaned that area up a lot more. But I feel like there's still something there. I can't remember exactly, but it might not be quite as much as it was. But maybe we just put some mozzarella sticks.
Yeah, something. I mean, maybe make like we talked about, get some railroad ties or something and make it a circle, or you never know, something. Because I like the fact of having like, which distance control is still necessary on every hole regardless anyway. But this really, that woods line being that close to it, or the stuff behind it, kind of almost added to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, there's always an option, like, because we have so many open holes and stuff on this one, that if I ever really, really wanted to, maybe I could make this one, I could potentially try to do it like an island hole.
I would love that.
Or something, make a circle somehow to where it's not painted, but have some way where there's a circle marked or something like that, permanent in ground, whether it's with stones or something like that, and have a drop zone designated off the tee to where like you go to this drop zone. If you missed island putting for 3 or something, make it like a 35 footer or something, or a 40 footer, something like that, just for a change up on it. I don't know. I've not ever thought about that till now, but I just don't like always having a bunch of open. So I'm trying to think of ways to improve the course a little bit to where it wouldn't be like a bunch of gimmicky stuff, but maybe something that would make sense. Because this is, like I said, it's only a 200-foot hole. It's not a far hole. It's one of the shorter holes on the course. Maybe not the shortest, but it's one of the shortest ones. I think hole 6 is actually the shortest hole. Now that I think about it. I'm pretty sure it's like 190 or something like that. So I think that's the shortest hole on the course, and a lot of them hanging at 200 to 250. Mm-hmm. So I don't think that would be a bad idea if we could figure out a way to do it. Almost, I don't know that I want to elevated this one, but I like how you can have like cleaned up greens sometimes. Mm-hmm. Some different element in it. So maybe I might look into that.
That'd be cool.
Poll some people. It would separate scores because it's easy to land outside the circle on this one if you make it a 35-foot circle.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Or something, then could definitely be something just to add a little bit more to the hole.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean I would like that. I really do like stuff like that on holes, and that's kind of. And I'm not going to get too far on this rant, but what Seth and I did with the Halo course was there. Mm-hmm. Not that much land, so we made Mandos and OBs on almost every hole. You know, of course the ponds helped with that, but
yeah, having natural OB already kind of there.
Yeah, like if you didn't play the OBs and stuff like that, that course is very, very easy. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
simple, very simple. But you play the OBs and Mandos and all that stuff, and it makes it trickier. And I think that's something that you could definitely do here at this course.
Yeah, I'm gonna think about that. See if that might be something to do on that hole.
Sweet. Well, this one, I'm gonna go ahead and say it's a thumbs up, even though it is one of those kind of like in that range of the ones that we did this on.
Yeah.
To me, I don't know. I don't even really know why, but this one for some reason, even though it's similar to those other ones, it just feels a little more fun for me. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's weird.
I get it. It looks different off the tee whenever you're throwing it than the other ones, kind of. So, even though it's not really different.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Sometimes disc golf's just like that. You know what I mean? Like, you find. Yeah. All right. Do you have anything about this one, or are you good on that?
No, I think I'm good on it.
All right, sweet. All right, so we'll move on to the final hole 18. It's a par 4 at 587 feet, according to Disc Golf Course Review. Josh, how do you feel that distance lines up? Is that correct?
I feel like it's pretty close. I think the hole is pushing 600 feet in reality, so I think that's probably pretty accurate.
Okay, cool. So this one is back on. Once again, we're still on this land right where hole 1 is. This is thrown back towards hole 1, but you're not going to be getting into hole 1's way there, so don't worry about that.
No.
This is a very long open field. This is one of those holes. For me personally, I know, Josh, you got a bigger arm than I do, but for me personally, I'm throwing 2 full shots here and trying to land in the circle on my second shot. So if I remember correctly, last time we played here, you and I were, I think, tied going into this one. And it really scared me because I know you have the potential to do it where I don't as much. I mean, of course I always could with a random throw in, but I remember I think we did both end up finishing birdie. Par,
I'm pretty sure I remember I birdied. I can't remember if you did or not. I know I made a thing, and I can't remember if I said something to you like that. I can't remember if you said, was that for the tie and you forward, or if I because I was smiling or something. I can't remember. I don't remember what it was, but I knew that we were tied going into this hole. I do know. So I can't remember if you birdied or if we both birdied or what. But I don't even know. Was I keeping score that day, or was you? Because I'm curious if I actually have that scorecard.
I think I don't know. I think I can bring it up. I'm pretty sure I probably kept score because I don't get to play this course often. You know what I mean? But 18 here is kind of one of those. I'm going to talk about it as I'm trying to pull it up here. But 18 is one of those holes where, honestly, you know, just looking at the picture there, it's pretty. I mean, it's wide open, no lie. But the distance control is the factor on this one for sure.
I actually remember what it is now. I've got the card up.
Oh, okay.
You parred it. I birdied it, and we tied. That's why I looked at you. You was like, "You're beat." I was beating you, and I was like, "Yeah, I've not been playing like how I usually want to." And I was like, "I remember I hit that putt." Do what?
Crazy. I didn't realize actually. Apparently, the first time when we filmed this round here, if you're not watched the video and you're going to, then close your ears right now, people. But apparently, I shot 8 down the first time I played it, down the second time I played it. So
yeah,
that's not too bad for me.
No, I mean that's honestly
not to talk bad
rounds.
about myself, but pretty pumped about it.
It's good rounds. Like I've told you before, I think I have a standard that I want to be shooting at this course every time I play, and I want to be hitting 10 down every time, just because of how kind of almost like run and gun birdie or die some of the holes are. That there's just some shots on the course that it's just like, if I miss this, you're just not being good today. like there's just a number of those holes. It's just like, if I should not be missing them. In my mind, I should not be missing them, and there's enough of those to where I feel like there's 10 of them that no matter what, I should get 10 of those holes every time I play. So that's where I kind of set a bar at it, because I mean I've played it enough to where that's what I know. If I'm playing good and have either a couple of bad holes or either like just mediocre the whole day, there still should be 10 birdies out there somewhere to grab.
Right.
So that's kind of the bar I set. And I mean, there's a lot of locals and stuff here that, I mean, it's finished like 4 or 5 down and stuff. So, I mean, you shooting 8 and 9 down on your rounds. The only 2 times you played it actually would sit fairly up with a lot of the people here. So,
and just looking at my scores here, I've had 1 bogey out of all those rounds.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things.
14. That's exactly what we were talking about earlier.
Oh, the one that you went OB on. Yeah.
Went OB on. That's
okay,
the only
yeah.
bogey. So, I honestly 18. I'm not trying to talk bad about it, but it's one of those, like, you know what you're doing off the tee. 18 is kind of one of those holes where it's throw putt for your shorter arm players like myself. For you, it's throw maybe a soft chip or a jump putt. You know what I mean? On the right wind conditions, at least.
Yeah, I mean, if I get my best shot on this one, I'm still probably going to be throwing it. I mean, my best drives and stuff, I'm still throwing just like a very kind of low power approach or something. If I whiff my drive or something like that, I might have to throw something. But in general, if I have my choice, I'm playing it right how I want, I'm throwing like potentially a standstill, like Kia or Yarn or something like that. And if I'm farther back, I still want to be throwing that disc, but just harder with like a run up or something. And I've came close. I've hit, I think, the basket 1 time for a 2 on it, but I'm still, like I said, you have to get a huge crush out there to actually still like have a putt run at it. Because I mean, like I said, it's sitting around 580. So I mean, even if you throw it 500, you've got an 80-foot putt to the basket still. And I think Micah Milam had, let's see, I feel like he was maybe getting close to that like 80-foot range, and he didn't hit it, but I mean, it was close. So I mean, he's been one that's kind of pushed the distance on it. And the reason this one's long, just like hole 1, it's just we don't have many long holes. I saw the opportunity, and I want us to be able to open up every now and then and just practice some distance shots. So It kind of reminds me of like hole 18 at Frank Lorino, just without the elevation changes. And honestly, I want to steal from Frank Lorino. I want to do an elevated green for 18 so that it stands out from the other baskets in the field. I want to do it green like that. I want to do one that's like a 20-foot circle or something like that. It's filled with like dirt and wood chips or something.
Yeah.
That's what I would love to do for that hole, just so you know, like when you're walking around, you go, oh, that's 18's basket.
Right. And it's funny how little small aesthetics like that can really change a hole. You know what I mean? It really does. Like, if you think of hole 18 at Frank, not to get off the course we're talking about, but there's really nothing even that special about that hole, but finishing right there at the parking lot with that elevated basket right there, it's kind of like, oh, cool. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and it's a fun one to kind of like practice putt on and stuff. And it's just enough to like, if you make it like that 20-foot circle or like maybe even 25-foot circle and you land 26 feet on the ground instead of on that elevated thing, it makes your putt just weird enough sometimes that you miss it.
yeah.
And then what it does also is if you land in that circle, it makes that putt feel kind of easy in that range. Because you're in that little thing, it makes it feel like you're so much closer to the basket, I think, mentally.
It does.
Whenever you land in there, even if you're on the edge of that green at Frank and you're standing on the cross tie, you're probably, I think you're 20 feet from the basket, but it makes you feel really close. Where you're like, oh, I just got to put this in because it's so condensed all around the basket.
And it also has the opposite effect when you're outside of it. If you're outside of it, it does that mental thing where it's like, man, I didn't even make the circle here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though you're within our 10 meter, 30 whatever foot circle, you feel like you're like, I didn't even make it in the circle, even though you actually are in the circles.
Yeah, and that 20-footer, you probably got to putt kind of closer to like a 25-footer just because it's like elevated, just slightly above you. So, I mean, I really want to do that to this basket. I mean, I did a similar thing to our hole 18 at the Ridge. So I elevated that one and built a platform. It's not like a big one like Frank, but I made that one to where it's like on the back side of the basket, it's like a 9-foot or 10-foot basket. And then it's level with you when you're at the top of the hill at 30 feet putting. And I did that strategically as well. And when we get to that course, I'll tell that story as to why I wanted to do that. But I just like finishing holes to have that. I like finishing holes to have just a little bit of a difference to them. Yeah,
I do too. I mean, it's funny how I don't know. It just kind of almost puts a stamp on the course. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So 18. I mean, I guess we can just kind of wrap the course up after this. But the thing I'll say about 18, as I said, thinking by what I'd said, you would think this, but I'm going to give it a thumbs up. And the reason I give it a thumbs up is because the difficulty of this hole is so much harder. Like if you've been throwing long bomb drives all day, this hole would be so easy. But you've been throwing just on this back nine, we got 315, 308, 276, 194, 233. So, and then you get to this hole 587. To me, this hole set apart, and I absolutely love that because it makes what's normally a toss, putt, it gets more mental because of that, because you're used to playing these short little holes. You know what I mean? Like most players that have the confidence there. I don't per se for me, but most people are throwing putter, mid-range on some of them. You know what I mean? Then you get to this hole and you're like, oh crap, I've got to throw a driver now. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like, yes. And it's this opposite effect. You start on one with a real long one, then you go to a bunch of shorter holes, and you get back here and you're like, oh wow, we've got to do this again after, throwing your putters, throwing your mids, throwing your slower speed discs. And on this one, I would assume everybody's pulling out a driver on this one. I mean,
yeah. And this hole too plays longer than what it actually is because of that you're on that part of the field now to where we were talking about is a 90% left to right is now usually a 90% headwind. Also coming right at you. So it makes it harder to even get full distance shots on that hole because a lot of times you'll either throw it nose up and not get the turn, or you throw it right and it turns over more than you wanted and you just don't get that carry. It's just not ever the distance, which when I was designing this hole, I was like, man, you get a bomb off on this one if you get a tailwind. And then we started playing and I was like, we never have a tailwind.
That's funny.
There is never a tailwind on this hole. So I was like, it actually makes this hole harder than what I originally thought it was going to be.
Right.
So, I mean, it's one of those ones where you just got to throw it as far as you can and then give yourself a shorter approach. But it's in that open field to where it's really easy to miss your landing zone at the basket. It's so easy. Like, it's one of those ones you want a 3 every time. And then there's good chances, especially if it's windy that day, that you leave yourself 30 feet short. You've got a headwind putt.
Mm-hmm. And I remember that, not because I remember the wind, but I remember, if I'm not mistaken, both times, definitely the last time you and I played it, I remember my drive going way to the left.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I was throwing a Kahoo. You know what I mean? And I know, my Kahoos aren't finishing left. You know what I mean? So it's like, I feel like that one, I probably went Kahoo XG, so maybe a little bit flippier version of it, but still, they're not finishing left for me. So
Yeah.
I like it because to me, it's like, I don't want to say you're going to get lazy on the other holes, but like you're used to those shorter shots, and then you get to this one, and it makes this hole so much more difficult than what you like. If it was hole, let's say you played hole 1, the long one, and then you immediately went there and played this one next, it'd be more than likely a 3 every time.
Yeah.
Versus if you playing it like this, there's going to be some 4s for sure.
Mm-hmm. And if you miss hole 1 and 18 in the same round, it feels like a very big missed opportunity. General.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
that's very that's just 2 strokes. That's 2 of the strokes that I'm talking about on the course. Even though they're the longest holes on the course, it's 2 of the holes that I say every time I should be getting these.
Yeah, at least one of the 2 every single time.
It's just like I should be at the point to where every time that's a no-brainer. I should be able to put myself into the circle. It's easy to mess up, but I should be, if I'm on my game and listening to my body and doing everything I'm supposed to, every day I should take a 3 every time I play it. And so whenever I miss them, it's just like, great.
Yeah,
that's amazing. that I did not 3 that. So yeah, it's just one of those ones, and it happens a lot. People miss them. I mean, you leave your, like I said, you leave your approach outside the circle or right on the circle's edge, and you're just flirting with disaster when you need to pin it.
And it's also one of those where I can't remember which hole it was we discussed earlier, but it's one of those where there's literally nothing in that field to judge your distance by. You know what I mean?
The only other thing in the field you have to judge your distance by is another basket that's even smaller off in the distance. It's
exactly.
Like 800 feet from you. So yeah, it's just a really small little white things.
All right. Well, I guess that's it for 18. I'm going to give it a thumbs up. Like if it was hole 2, I'd probably do this. You know what I mean? Because it's standard throw putt. But just because of placement of where it is, I love it. I love finishing up on this after a short course and then having to challenge yourself on the last one. So yeah, good hole.
Well, that's Leeman.
Yeah, that's Leeman. So course in
that's Leeman for now.
Yeah, for now, yeah. I'll just go ahead and say my overall thoughts, and then you can share anything you want as course designer that you want, or just overall thoughts of the course in general. But I'll just say, and I kind of touched on this before you got in here, trying to eat up some time before, to try and get you in on all the holes. But I love the fact that this entire course, honestly, it's like the land that you were allowed, like you did a really good job at keeping stuff out of each other's way. Whereas, like I said, me personally, I would not be good enough of a course designer to be able to get 18 there. It would be 9 if I did it. You know what I mean? There would be longer holes, but it wouldn't be a full 18. So
yeah.
I think pat you on the back. I said I wasn't going to say that here because I didn't want to make your head big, but.
Well, I mean, one of the things was that the town manager really wanted us to get 18 holes in. So I was like, I can try. But I was telling him at the same time, the whole time, I was like, I'm going to have to try to design this as safe as I can. Because I was like, I don't want to put a course in and then you all take it out.
Right.
Because somebody gets hit with a disc or something like that or something. So that's, I was just I tried to design with like that aspect as much as possible in my head without, I mean, with you playing in such a close proximity to a walking path, there's only so safe you can be.
Right.
So that's why some of the tees are placed where they are, to where it's kind of like a really awkward shot to get to the walking path.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them, I mean, you can't avoid it. You're right next to it. So, but some of them, like hole 4, I tucked the tee pad back into the right of that tree. So that it's just like if you whiff it over the walking path, it's a really weird, bad miss, kind of. Because the obvious shot for a righty is going to be like a hyzer or something like that. So, I mean, I tried to do that. So, and I'm hoping, like we've talked about, I'm hoping we get to go through with the changes, because all that'll do is just make the course overall probably better and play safer. So I'm hoping that we get to do that. And I'm just, I was happy to get the design in and people actually enjoy it, playing it. It might not be like the most amazing course, but it's something different from what we had. And it was an 18-hole course. It was something we didn't have at the time. We didn't have just an 18-holer to go play, so we could actually go and get a full round without having to play twice for leagues or something like that if we were doing leagues. So it definitely helped on that side of things. But I wasn't too disappointed with it being my first ever actual course design. I wasn't too bad about it. And I mean, for the most part, what it seems like most people enjoy playing it. Like, I mean, Max and them from Throwmore and stuff came over and they was like, I love playing this place. It's like, it's not anything crazy hard or anything. It's just a fun one to play. So I was like, well, I appreciate it.
I agree. I think it's serving its purpose too, exactly what you were saying, as far as getting people to the park, getting them out playing. Because I know even the last time you and I played it, there was people there that you didn't even know playing, of course, and you were kind of like, all right, it makes you feel good as a designer. The people that you have no idea who they are out playing. And I think we saw like a couple cards of people, if I'm not mistaken. So I mean,
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's serving its purpose, and it's also in that my last rant about the course. It's also in that those distances where it's mostly like a lot of them can be beginner friendly as well. You know what I mean? And you've done the alternate tees, so nobody ever actually has to throw across the water, right?
Yeah, I mean, as long as they pay attention to the tee, like or if they're on UDisc, they can look and it'll be like a short tee layout or something like that, which it'll literally just be like the map will show you where the short tee is. But if you look at the tee pads, like hole 1 doesn't tee off over water, but it has that Mando with the hook, so that's the only reason I put that one with a short tee. But then that one, I think that's the only 3 tees. So hole 1, 3, and 16 all have tees that they might not be the greatest, but you don't have to throw over water if you don't want to. So as long as you know that that's there.
And I already spoke on that front nine. That to me, that's crucial for courses, especially at park courses like this. If it's private land, then I can see, get over it. You know what I mean? That's it. But it's a public park like that, because I'm sure people take their families out there. And
oh yeah, I mean, people fish the river all the time. You never know if you're like playing the course one day. And I mean, ideally, if you're one of us playing, we don't want to play the short tees. Nobody ever really does. But I mean, you never know if you walk up and somebody's on the bank right in front of the basket or something like that on 3's side. Yeah, I don't want to play the short tee, but if we had to, you could walk all the way across the bridge, play the short tee, and they're not anywhere in your fairway.
Right.
Or like something similar, like hole 16. Like you could do the same thing. Like if somebody by chance picnicked right on the bank right between the tee and the basket right there where that big tree is on 16. If you play the short tee, you're throwing nowhere near them. Yeah. So, I mean, there's options like if that's – because that happens at parks. I haven't ever really seen it happen there, but it happens at parks. So,
yeah, for sure.
Have you even seen somebody actually use one for a grill before?
I've heard about it. I've not
I
seen
saw
it, but
pictures. I saw pictures. Line it with some aluminum foil and put your charcoal in there, baby. It's great.
Yeah. I mean, as disc golf, unfortunately, still somehow there's people who don't know what it is. So it happens. But so, yeah, I mean, this course, great. Good on you, friend. Good on you. It's serving its exact purpose, getting people out to the park. Good for beginners, and it's really, really good. If you're like rec intermediate level, you're going to absolutely love this course. That the one thing, my one take on this course, if somebody asked me in one word, how would you describe this course? Fun. To me, it's just a fun layout, you know.
Yeah, it's a fun one to play. It's out there. You don't have to get too constricted on a lot of your drives or constricted feeling. So I mean, you can kind of play loose and just have fun with it. And generally, if I go play there, I'm playing it just. I want to score it, but a lot of times I use this course if I get to it as kind of like a field practice type of a course too, because it's got the big open fields. It's like I need to figure out what this disc is doing, so I'll take some extra time and throw some shots in the open spots just to see what this driver is doing for me or something. Test out. So I mean, it's a good place to do that kind of stuff too. But yeah,
I agree.
I mean, my favorite hole I think on the course is going to stay 3.
Is it?
Yeah.
I understand it. I mean, I think 3 is my favorite, but I think 16 is. It's funny, the 2 water holes.
Yeah,
are my favorite. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe aesthetics is more of a thing for me than that is for most people or something. But it's pretty holes.
I will say, like, if that kind of stuff pulls you in, the aesthetics of North Cove is probably going to make you love it.
I've been wanting to go so bad
because you play along the river there like crazy, and it has a lot of similar looks, but with so much more land.
I would love
just
it.
Open. So I mean, it's really nice, and I'm sure you'd be walking around going, "Look at that bird!
Look at that bird!
Look at that one! Look at that goose over there! Look at that! That's a northeastern Canadian
Canadian.
Goose.
Is that like a mix between Canadian and Scandinavian? A Canadian?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, they mate sometimes when they meet every 5 years. Didn't you know that? I thought you were a birder. I thought you were a birder. They get buck teeth too.
I hate to tell you this, but birds do not have teeth. So
they get buck bills.
Buck bills, like a duck bill.
Yeah, the bill goes like this. It curves down.
All right, you know what time it is, right?
Game time. Any dogs in the house? Oh yeah, that's mine.
Forgot about it, didn't you? What?
That's my, what?
Empty box.
Oh yeah.
No, it's not empty. So for the people who are tuned in here, if you have not seen this before, this is the portion of the whole discussion where we decide what course we will discuss next. And this box here, not sponsored by Skybreed Discs, but if they want to sponsor, holla at me.
Silly's comment.
Oh, what did he say? Northeastern Canadian bucktooth goose is truly the greatest treasure of the bird kingdom.
Canadian.
All right. Canadian.
Oh, my stomach hurts.
All right, so we're going to reach into the box here. Now, I am going to say this. There are a few courses in here that I put in, like, for instance, Warrior's Path is one. There are some that have been worked on recently that if we pull them, then we might wait. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Look at you. You were gone, apparently.
You're like a fan.
I'm going to, is everybody in the comments ready to find out what course we're discussing next? Are you ready?
Delp, am I in the comments?
I mean, can be. All right, so you can see, I already shook it up. What we do? Can you hear that?
Yep.
Right, he said, yep. All right. So I've got a course here. Is that? I feel like I've got two, and I do. Okay, I got one. All right, this is what we will be discussing.
What's your guess?
My guess? Oh gosh, Cherokee Park. What's your guess?
I'm going Harmon Hills.
Oh, that'd be fun. All right, let's see. I'll show it to you all first because if I can get it open.
Oh my
gosh!
Yeah, you owe me a disc.
It is Harmon Hills, so that was weird. That's crazy. I promise you, this is not. This was not planned. So that is going to be fun. If you all don't know Harmon Hills, that is a treasure of a course in our area.
I get a point.
A point. That's our point here on this one.
Oh
all
my
right.
God! I had a feeling, man. I had
Crazy.
a feeling.
There's like
deep
what
in my bone.
25 courses in there or something.
At
There's
least
a lot of courses, yeah. So that was kind of scary.
Stelly, Stelly doesn't even know the course, but he is hyped because I freaked.
He is hyped. Yeah.
I can't believe that. I felt it in my heart.
That's funny. What are the freaking odds of that? I wish I knew how many courses were in there. But
that's my favorite course. I mean, I have to say my favorite course now is my course, the Ridge, but
yeah.
I've always said Harmon Hills is my favorite course to play. So
yeah, it's up there. I'll say it's one of my favorite too. Mother said staged, fake emotions. Did you not just see me shake a box full of papers up and pull one right in out?
Yeah, and he's gonna clip a short of me going. They just won the Super Bowl. That's what it looked like.
Thank you for the YouTube content, sir.
You're welcome. Now do something on my channel like that.
Okay, I will. I'll spill water on me next.
Like pull your shirt up and. No, don't do that. I'll have to blur. I don't think they let you show anybody's boobies anymore.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I don't know. I've seen weird videos, and I'm like, this dude's just out swimming. He's a guy, right? And it's like blurred. I'm like, I didn't know that wasn't allowed. I'm going to get arrested if I go outside.
Be bad.
Put a shirt on now.
That's funny.
Okay.
All right. Well,
I'll stop.
No, you're good, man. You're good. So I'm just going to once again throw the thumbnail up. I only have the back thumbnail here for the course that we discussed. If you've not seen it yet, this is Josh and I playing this course. So it's kind of fun that this is going to be one of the few times that there's actually around him and I both playing the course. You know what I mean? I don't know that there's many other like Milligan and a few others that we've done together.
What's the one in Greenville?
Tusculum. Whirlwind, yeah. But there's not going to be that many options, so I suggest y'all to check that out. And I'm just put a link here in the comments right now. So once we finish up, if you want to go over and watch it, that back nine, and we want to watch the front nine first, but that back nine link will take you to you can find the front nine through that as well. So
did you notice that Gavin Babcock's in that video too?
Yeah, I saw him on the
special guest. Yeah, he's in the thumbnail. I look young in that. Do I look old now?
Yes.
That was like 2 years ago. I had a kid.
Kids age you.
Come on.
It's funny.
I aged a lot with 2 kids. With a kid and a half, because I had a kid at that point.
Oh. All right. I guess there's not really much to talk about. I'm just going to say once again, I got some fun stuff coming up. If y'all didn't see in the intro there, Monday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be the 9-hole shorts of Delp and I, along with Jacob Cutshaw, the course designer, playing that Sullivan East. And then Wednesday, we got this coming up. BDGC.
Heck yeah.
Friday, we got this coming up. BDGC playing mini disc golf on the mini golf course. And then the following Monday, got the final back 9 of that go there. So these first 2 are already available in the on BDGC Patreon, and I'm probably going to upload the final 9 probably as soon as I get done here. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, click like, please share our videos, and stay tuned for more hole discussion. Next week we'll be live on Joshua Delp's channel, Daddy Delp Disc Golf, over there for what episode is it? It's going to be like
7, maybe
7. Yeah, 7,
something like that.
Yeah. So
comment below if you want Daddy Delp on that putt. I want in on that.
We'll get you in on that sometime. So
I want in on that.
Sure.
That looks fun. I want to do that. I like putt.
Do that.
I like putt. I like to say I'm like almost 1,000 rated mini player.
Oh, dang.
Maybe not, but
bad thing is we had 3 people, or we had 4 people. It's going to be 4 versus 4, and Jerry ended up having to cancel day of. So we had 3. But yeah.
I think y'all should do like on that with the mini disc golf stuff. Like if I have some input on it, safari, as in like using 2 greens.
That's crazy
for baskets.
I actually thought about that.
I think you should do that to make it harder.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to Jared Odell about that next year, because we did that. We played the mini golf there last year. We did this year, and hopefully there's no end in sight. Hopefully, we have to do it in the off season, obviously, when the course is closed. But that's why it always comes up this time of year. But that's it. I don't have anything else. Do you have anything else, Josh?
No, I don't think so.
No. Do you have anything fun coming up this week you want to tell them before we head out?
I hope so.
Subscribe for potential content.
Yeah, I've honestly probably going to have to go out and film a couple of things and get it edited together if I can, because we had like insane windstorms and stuff this week and rain right before the tournament and junk. So I was scared for the ridge, and I went and checked it today after I got done with the tournament, and I didn't see any trees down on any of the fairways. So that was happy, because it was like for about 8 hours of like 25 to 40 mile per hour winds with 60 mile per hour gusts. And it just went on from like 8 at night all the way until like 6 in the morning. And stuff was just everywhere. So I was afraid. So I'm happy about that, but I have not been able to go out and film much. So I'm looking to do some extra content. I might go out and do some. I've had people suggest tips, like me do some tip videos and stuff, like keeping nose angle down on discs and stuff, or do something, or forehand, or how to throw forehand shots or something, or how I do or something. I'm fine with that. I just got to trolls when I put videos out like that. People, I used to do tip videos a whole lot or more, and people would come on there and be like, "Dude, you're not even like, what are you giving a tip? You should be giving a tip. You're like 938 rated." And I'm like, "Well, tell me what your rating is. Come play me, boy." All right, come on, let's go play, and then you can go back and talk.
That's the exact troll voice.
It is literally. It's just. When you like 920 rated. Well, I'm not 920 anymore.
He's 921. Thank you.
I'm hoping I'm going to break 970 next week. I'm hoping.
Nice.
I got high
here's the tip video. I'll send you videos of me and you fix Baysinger's game.
Hey, if you want to do that, I can do it. I'll do content. I don't know if it'll help you or not, but I'll.
It'll be like 7 years of effort.
How about, hey, did you actually work on this? No.
I've not played disc golf in 3 weeks. No, I have not. But I did see a swan today. So.
So do I get a check mark for that?
Check
You
mark.
get half a star.
You did your best. You did your best, guy. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So I don't know. I might do some of those videos because I can do something like that at the house. And then I've got reviews to do. It's just they've been daggone. The weather's not been cooperating for me to get out. Like I went out to do the days I did that Kodaku versus the Malta and the Pewauk and the Meteor. I was going out to do reviews that day, and that was the beginning of when we started to get winds. And I had massive tailwinds, and I was like, these Pewauks are flying like a buzz or something would, just like flying far and not turning over at all.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's misleading. I was like, I cannot review a Meteor and a Pewauk and have them fly on hyzers for 320 feet and never turn over with me standing there going, So I went and did those challenge videos. So I got 2 videos out of what day I would have got like 5 doing reviews. So it kind of screwed up my flow on that part of things. So that's why my videos came out a little slow here lately. And it's probably why the video views sucked.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I might have been down too. So if you've learned anything in the comments here when we leave, please go watch one of each of our videos and comment. Right, Josh? We would
twice.
really appreciate it. Comment twice.
Watch it twice as well.
Watch it twice and comment 3 times. We would appreciate that. So
it would be cool. And then we'll comment back twice. The same thing.
Yeah. I reply to almost every comment on here. Just saying. So
yeah, I try to as well. But I'll stop rambling. I'm a rambling man right now.
No, you're good. I just looked up and saw that we're 3 hours in. So
yeah. Well, it's been fun.
Absolutely. Thanks to Mungo, Stelly, Mother, everybody else who was in the comments. I know we had a bunch of people tonight. Gerald was in here earlier. Isaiah,
Donnie,
Alex Ferguson. Go subscribe to him. A lot of people in here. Yeah, Donnie was in here. A bunch of people. So thank you all. Thanks, Josh, for joining. Even though I know you had didn't know if you were going to be able to get here on time. I appreciate you still coming into the podcast. So
I don't want to miss if I don't have to.
Right. I feel it. Thank you to my lovely lady Amanda on the back end for helping us with comments, throwing them up and hold distance. You wrote down the distances and all this for me. She even helped me write some of the names on these cards here. What a sweet.
Wow. Did she write Harmon Hills?
Did you write Harmon Hills or did I? That looks like me.
Oh, dang it.
That's me. Sorry.
It was a Joshua Aaron. Dang it.
All right. We're going to call it there.
Here.
Broke my thumb.
ASMR. Wait, here you go. Here's a good one. Oh.
Okay. And on that, Josh
you'll get good views on that. Yeah, you'll get good views on that crack.
All right. Thanks, everybody in the comments. Thanks again, Delp. Please like this video. Please comment on the post and comment on some of our other videos as well, please. So thanks, y'all. And y'all have a wonderful night or evening like Mungo's over in New Zealand. Y'all have a good night and day. Peace.
Peace.